Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm not wearing my Congo
Yeah.
Bongo t-shirt. I should be wearing my Congo Bongo t-shirt. I've worn that to
All right.
several parties recently. It's been brilliant. I should probably do a stream from the basement, but it's too cold down there. And I was down in the basement this morning. Not this morning, this afternoon. And I need to do an update on that one as well. So many things I need to do an update. It's like I can spend 2 days doing an update video, or I can spend a day working on it and get it done and get it out of the way. And there's just so much of that stuff piling up at the moment. At the moment, I've got my basement all ready for concrete pour, except I've got to pour grains of sand between the insulation and then tape up the gaps with
Oh,
metal
right. Okay.
to stop the concrete. And I've got the central heating engineer's finally given up and says, no, can you just go and find a concrete company? I'm like, yeah, I can go find a concrete company, no problems. I'm going to use a place down in Mauchline that my wife's used before once for her Helensburgh shop, and we'll get that down, and then hopefully by terrible bites we will have a concrete floor in the basement.
So more space for beer.
More space for beer. More importantly, more space for cabs.
Oh,
More cabs. Yeah.
This cancer spreads.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, we'll probably get Arik on later. I wanted to thank Arik because Arik was a big help in one of my recent projects. This stupid little. I actually had a terrible fire with this project.
oh well.
See if I can find a wee demo board.
It's about time, really. I mean, you've had that. name
Yeah,
for
it's
so
about
long,
time
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So
I feel like you've been letting the side down, to be honest.
these guys, right? These are the originals. They are little hybrid things that are like kind of. What they are is they are basically a fader, in-circuit fader that can be digitally controlled in an arcade machine. So you give it 8 bits, and it's at 8 bits. There's 2 audio channels. You can say this channel or that channel, 8 bits, strobe it, and it'll set the volume for that. It'll like set the gain or the attenuation. It's a DCA, a digitally controlled attenuator. I'm supposing that because it's the only thing that fits. But they blow up, and they're these guys. They're made by Title. They're customs, and they blow up.
It looks a bit like a video, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a video hybrid thing. It's got a bunch of stuff under there, and what I did was I had one that had one channel working, and decided that what I would do is I would build a little test rig. By the way, I managed to put the Raspberry Pi. I did exactly the same thing with the Raspberry Pi I did with the first revision of the TF4060. Put it on the thing the wrong way around.
Nice.
But basically, this guy goes in here, and you've got your 2 channels and a power supply, and I put the Raspberry Pi in, and I've got a wee script that controls my. It's an oscilloscope, but it's got a wave generator on it as well, and it gave me a little profile of the waveform. So I then built a prototype. The other thing is this thing doesn't have. This thing, its only power supply is 12 volts. It doesn't have -5. It doesn't have 5. It just only got 12. So,
Right.
so it's like, So first revision, big ass cooker technology, linear reg, and a smaller one. So that's it. Then that steps it down. This one steps it. This one steps it down to 5, and then this one steps it down to 3.3. And because I'm just sticking with what I know, I put a CPLD on it. This guy here, and this kind of IC that does more or less what the original chip does, but it's an SPI controlled thing. So put that on it, and this one's been harvested for the purposes. And there's an SPI in and an SPI out, and I connected them both to the CPLD. And what I hadn't appreciated was that the SPI in would go in at 3.3 volts, all fantastic. But the SPI out came at 12 volts back to the CPLD, and it cooked them. It really properly cooked them.
Okay, they are 5 volt tolerant, but maybe
They're 5
not
volt
really
tolerant.
12.
They're not maintenance tolerant, right? So, so they were starting to cook. So I cut a few of them, but I did get them working. But then I realized that. So I think this is one of the ones that's still kind of working, and it's got a lot of components on. So if you look at it, it's got a CPLD here. It's got this is non-negotiable. I need this. This is the first revision of the board with the big cooker technology and the CPLD. This is the second revision of the board with the CPLD, a smaller reg, and it's kind of the packaging's got a little bit better. But then where's the third one? There's a final version of it. Let me see if I find the final version of it. Another one of them kicking about here. There we go. But Eric has been messing about with the CH32 stuff, right? The ARM, the STM32 type clones.
Yeah.
So these guys, these CPLDs are like £8 a pop now, and they need an oscillator. Eric, these guys are 32 pence, and they don't need an oscillator. So
Brilliant.
And Eric got me going up and running with that. These are about that. The most expensive bit is this chip. I think these all in probably built are maybe they're under a tenner anyway. All in BOM prices under a tenner. They work perfectly, and the profiles that I got out of them, I raised a bug with, I raised a feature request with MAME, with the arcade emulator, and today somebody put in a commit with all that stuff in it. Oh, I can hear myself. Definitely an echo. Yep.
Now suddenly you have an echo, yeah.
There's definitely an echo from Eric. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
So that whole curve thing was missing from the MAME emulator for Operation Wolf, which is what I was using, what I was trying to work on for this. So I mean, they work. They're needed for other arcade machines, but the Operation Wolf sound was the problem. So once I got the light gun working on I sent Ollie a message saying, now we move on to sound. So reproduced those guys. Nobody done it. It wasn't really very hard. It was just go measure. The thing is, this chip. This guy doesn't have. I was trying to explain this to Ollie actually. Hey Ollie.
What?
We're just talking about you.
Yeah, we're just talking. I was trying to explain this to. I was trying to explain this to you, that this chip has a completely different response to in terms of the curve to the original one on the title board. So yeah, I'm just showing off my like 8 or 9 revisions of this fucking thing. So original.
Spend a bit of time on this.
No, not really. I mean, it was like, I did spend time on it, but it was like, it's good fun anyway. But my Operation Wolf is fully working now. I hadn't actually realized that after I thought it was completely working, there was one of the channels was still broken, but it's the second channel and it only does like very occasional sounds. So
that was a weird thing that whatever resets or like on the sound, wasn't there something that needs to be reset or something like that? That was the last error you had on the soundboard.
There was 4. There's on each sound channel. There's 2. There's an A and a B channel. There's like a comparator for that. There's a counter that counts up to go through the sample data, and there's a comparator that says, "Oh yeah, you've reached the end," and I'll reset you. And all 4 of those comparators were dead, completely dead. 688, 74 LS 688s, all 4 of them were totally dead. So replaced them. It's more or less working. There was a couple of other chips I had to replace as well, but yeah.
That brings so many bad memories of repairing arcade boards, like years ago. Of just like you fix a problem and just the sheer fact that you fixed something somewhere, and then something else downstream is failing again because it's just now receiving current for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I don't know what it was. There was definitely for the second sound channel, it wasn't even counting at all. So once I'd worked out what was wrong, so I got it changed the chip, got it counting, changed another chip, I got it to reset, and then it was starting to do that thing where it was playing the samples, and then it would play the next sample straight after it, and it would keep playing samples until it would shut up again. So, but it's all working now. It's great.
am I too loud now? Or?
You're always too late. How's the logging company going? How's the new?
Oh god, my shoulders are in bits. Yeah, I've 5 or 6 trees left to clear, but out of 19.
What have you been doing? You've not been doing any work, have you?
I haven't done any music, that's for sure. Yeah, or well, a little bit today.
I've noticed you've been a bit off the radar. It's been lumberjack mode.
Yeah.
I found some trees for you, Ollie.
Thank you.
I
wouldn't mind, but before the storm happened, the weekend before, like this summer, we got 2 massive trees felled by a guy and cost me $4,000. Whatever. But I spent every weekend since October, because they were big, literally just splitting logs and chopping it into like sizable bits that I could put in the stove. So since October last year until just before the weekend before the storm, I'd been chopping wood, and the weekend before I was just tidying everything, literally just sweeping the grass, like just making it, shiny and pretty. And I was like, that's it. I've no more wood to cut ever again for the rest of the 19 trees.
Accepted.
That's brutal. That's
That's
actually
heartbreaking,
brutal.
yeah. 19 trees, fuck's sakes.
Well, we have firewood.
Free firewood, free gym. I've lost the stone since the storm. So that's good.
Yeah, you got a benefit out of it. That's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good though.
Oh, let me get this music going here. It's a bit silent.
Silent is good.
So Stephen, that
Silence.
tracker tune I finised, do you want to use that for your stuff? Or
Yeah.
why don't you just use the original one as a sample? I mean, you might as well. I mean,
I might do that, but I'm using that. But if you release it, I can't use it in the revisions.
well, I was thinking of releasing it. Well, you're not gonna finish that demo this year, are you?
No chance.
So it'll be next year. So you can use it for that then. I was gonna actually enter it this year.
For what?
The tracker one.
For revision.
Yeah.
You go for it.
Okay.
You do the tracker one for revision, and I'll use the MP3 for the next. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on another piece for you as well.
Oh shit.
You might be able to use it somewhere.
So you will come to revision. Good.
Oh,
Yes, you will.
Oh, great. Yeah, okay, hold on.
oh, he's having a good day.
There you go.
So you coming to revision then?
No.
Of course you are. Coming to Germany.
No, it's terrible bites for revision.
Mhm.
My days are numbered, so I've pretty much on my holidays sorted already. So
Oh,
Original, then Edison, and then
oh, you got see. I go. Fiona loved Gerb. She loved it. She was handing out gin and tonics to everybody. We brought two bottles of gin with us from the plane. 2-liter bottles of gin, and then Chucky got us 2 bottles of gin from the system. What do you call it? The system.
Systembolaget.
And so we had 4 bottles of gin. We're like, well, we can't take 4 bottles of gin with us to the cabin. It goes us the whole freaking time. We're going skiing afterwards. So I don't know how we managed to persuade her to do this, but she went off to this shop, got ice, came back with a glass, started handing out cups with 2 ice cubes gin, mostly gin, and a little bit of tonic, and just handing them out to people.
That's good.
A lot of very confused Swedes, because I don't think people hand out drink like that in Sweden. Does that happen in Sweden?
Well, parties can be, but yeah, maybe they're not used to bringing out. I mean, alcohol is expensive.
Yeah, like a 6-foot-tall Scottish woman handing out gin and tonics going there.
But you got the real Systembolaget experience with the special ordered alcohol and everything.
No, it was good. Yeah, no, she was very happy. She was very happy, and I was very happy because it was so funny. I can't show the picture, but Hoffman, just I was ripping into him for falling asleep with terrible bites.
he's gonna hate you.
And so it was like 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and I'm like, right, Ian, I'm off. See you later. He's like, are you off to bed? He's like tapping me on the face, off to bed. Can't take it. 45 minutes later, Pinky sends me a picture of him flat dead on stage.
Yeah, he sent me that pig.
So, yeah, he says, oh, I was just waiting for my car. I was like, yeah, I've tried that with the cops. They don't believe me.
High metabolism, that's what it is.
Well, to be fair, he was 2 in the morning that time.
Yeah.
But I was thinking this year, for Terrible Bites, I'll need to buy another beer machine with alcohol-free beer in it. And on the alcoholic beer machine, I have a picture of Ian with a red circle and a cross through it. So he can only drink the non-alcoholic beer.
You're bad. Have a bard list.
Yeah, him and Dave. Thank you.
Alright, I haven't had time to test your cart yet, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand what's been happening with you recent stuff. That's more than I just had to send them.
I'm really looking forward to that. That is it's here somewhere. Let me go find it.
It's just excuses to not do any projects. Just excuses.
I want to try it on the...
Oh, this guy. Look at that guy.
That's very...
Oh, for
very
fuck's
cool.
sake, more MSX shit.
You love it. You had a problem building one recently, didn't you? Or Chucky? There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 of them, and only one of them, the keyboard works sometimes. It's weird.
Sex machine. Sex machine.
That works.
Yeah.
Just keyboards are just misbehaving, or
Yeah, sometimes it's working, and most of the time just doesn't detect in the keyboard. The LED goes on, but no keyboard presses. I noticed that if I press a key while turning it on, then it usually works.
I'm really looking forward to this. So this guy, for anyone who's watching that doesn't know, what's the bomb cost for this, Sarek?
£4.
And it is a complete MSX card up to 256 megabyte of 256K.
Yeah, 256 and SCC emulation.
An SDC emulation. So that is a £4 card that can emulate, that can do Space Manbo. And you can stick it in a cart, dedicated Space Manbo cart, and go for it.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh, it's Mike Daly. Jeez.
Oh,
What do we
geez,
do?
God. God's sakes.
That's the stream over.
Why don't you hop in, Mike?
Maybe you should show that special clip you did.
I don't know. I'll get banned from YouTube. Yeah. Evening, Mike. Yeah.
That's
Good to see you.
It's pretty cool, that card. Was it like you spent a bit of time trying to get the SEC right on it as well? Are you done with it, or?
Yeah, I still need to do the circuit like with the op amp and maybe bass boost or something like this, because it's like it doesn't sound great, so there's a little bit of work needed to be done, but it's on analog side, so I'm still learning.
It depends on the MSX. As far as I understand, the mixing between PSG and SCC is done in the MSX most of the time.
Yeah.
And there was an issue with some Philips MSX that weren't mixing it right, like, so you needed to do a quick mod and that kind of stuff. So, but that's been fixed with your TF MSX. You've done the mixer anyway.
So the TF-MSX went from the absolute, from the first version was the most awful way of mixing, to gold-plated, completely over the top, kind of. So is it sounding okay? What does it sound like on the TF-MSX versus, is it the HX10 you've got?
It's basically DAC connected directly, so there's like, it's quite quiet. I did boost it a little bit in software, but it starts to be distorted sound if you boost too much. So that's the reason why I need a little bit of the analog. I think I need to just do a little bit of amplification there, and then maybe just boost the bass, because it's quite very quiet in comparison to originally. But it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just to be okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm not aiming for perfect. It's just
for £4, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's
just better than completely nothing. So yeah.
What does a Space Manbo card go for? Like they're like 200 quid. Last I saw it, that could have gone north of that. No.
No.
So I can give you the circuit I use on the TF-MSX. Actually, it's I put it on this guy. It's one of these tiny little op amps. They're only like a quid or something like that. So you can add the circuit on for almost nothing and see how you get on. See if that makes a difference in sound. You can probably tune it around with like caps and. Still no retailers interested in carrying the TF-MSX.
Well, Chucky, yeah, contact Chucky. He loves making them.
Contact Chucky.
No. Nay. Yet.
He is the official reseller of all Fire.
No.
You take the rough with the smooth, Chucky.
I'd love to build them if I had the time, but it's just time hasn't been. Even before now, hasn't been on my side.
So, I suspect if you ask Mr. Goose, or I think you can catch him on Amiibo and eBay. No, he is on eBay and Amiibo. So if you ask him, I suspect if you ask him specifically for a TF-MSX, he will do them. I think he's just trying to. He's doing a lot of TF stuff. So. Let's see.
Is he UK as well, or in Europe as well?
It's perfect.
Shitload of Amiga stuff to build. I have shitload of chipsets.
So Goose being Belfast means in the EU and in the UK, effectively.
Yeah. There was a guy a while back, mates, from the MSX community, and I know he builds stuff, like he's good with SMD and all that, but he was asking me, and I never replied to him, but it was when you did the first revision, and I think I'd done the first video, but he was wondering if you were looking for somebody to build it for you.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's like,
I'll check
Yeah.
with him if he's still up for it. See, you don't know him. I know you like to work with people you trust as well. So
but ultimately, I didn't know Chucky when I first started building boards, right? So
No.
yeah,
you have to, like, you
It's
start
the
with
only
one.
reason,
See how
it's the
you
only
get
reason you
on.
spoke to him at the time, really, wasn't it? I mean,
I
now that you
don't-
know him better, if you could go back in time.
Yeah, if I could go back in time to that point and then change my life, make my life not suck. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So
I can check with him and put you in touch if you want.
yeah, that would be
Um,
perfect. Thanks, Ollie.
Yeah, okay, I'll try that.
Yeah. What about you, Graham? What are you been up to?
Working, there's been very little excitement in any kind of retro way, sadly.
So I know
Um,
some stuff with the Mediator and the 1260.
Yeah, I've been experimenting. So Thomas Richter, or Thor, has been writing a library, an open PCI library compatible replacement from the ground up that allows you to run. Sorry, it's a cat's bum there appearing on it. Go away. Yeah, he's been writing a replacement library, so you don't have to use any of the LBox software. So I've currently got a Realtek network card and a Voodoo running in my 4000 desktop without any LBox software on the Mediator. Quite happily using all the Thor stuff. He was trying to work out how to get the Spider card working, the USB card. So I've sent him mine across. It landed today. I got a message from him saying he got it. So if he can get that going as well, that would be brilliant. I mean,
So it's open PCI library for the Amiga.
yeah. So I mean, I've got LSPCI on my 4000 now, and I can see all the cards. He's basically from the ground up building PCI support for the Amiga that supports all the bus boards. So it'll work with a Mediator, it'll work with Prometheus, it'll work with. So he's doing he's just he's engineering from the ground up very well. And just trying to suss it all out, but I think he's hit a few interesting problems just because the way LBox have engineered things. But I know you've been there, but yeah, it takes all the LBox software out of the equation. There's no LBox software involved. It's purely what he's done, and it's working. It's pretty much working flawlessly at the moment for the two cards that I'm running, the network and the graphics. No bother at all.
What I would be interested to know is whether or not, if you were to run the system with the 1260 and the Mediator, whether you still had the 4 megabyte limit.
Yes, there is one chap who is doing testing on his behalf in it's a big thread on EAB, so you'll not have seen it because you don't go there. There's a big thread on EAB, and
I like to not get raging and be angry.
that's understandable. But yeah, there's a guy on there who has a PF1260. He's doing a lot of testing, and it's still only working with the Mediator when he has the 4 meg limit set. So it's definitely something hardware related, I think.
I mean, I'll give that a go at some point. There's just
Yeah, man, when you have time. I mean, it's not the 4 megabyte thing is not the end of the world, but I think from what I've read, he's worked out that there's two windows that they move about, but they have to be within 512 megabytes of each other. So the spec doesn't quite say that. It says you can use the whole 4 gig address space, but when he tried to do that, it wasn't working. I mean, he had to re-engineer everything so it was working within. And then once he sussed that, things started working better. But I mean, it's probably, I would say it's early days, but I mean, the iteration on it, there's a new version of the library sometimes 3 or 4 times a week, just because
that's pretty interesting. Yeah,
just sitting and battering away at it. So it's great.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You can do the 1260 work, and do the 4060 after Easter. It's perfect, Mike. Perfect.
No, not
perfect for me.
So let's see if I can get this. Let's see. I'm gonna try and figure out which one of these. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. So, can you guys see my Amiga? It's just
Yes, we can. Pi KVM. Yep.
so. This is this is a KVM. This is using Aric's little keyboard video mouse adapter, and this is a real Amiga just sitting here, and I can access it over the network, and I can also bring up. Yeah, here I've got the serial port on it as well. So I was sitting doing some dev work on this from Sweden. I can reset it because I've got I've just got it literally plugged in on a smart plug that I can control through Home Assistant, and it's really nice. We're trying to get up and running. Oh, there we go. There we go. We've got this is a 4000 with a 4060 and a Pi plugged into it. This is that's never worked before, by the way. So, that died. But, I wasn't expecting that to work, but that's the A314 emulation with the Pi and with the Pi, and it's kind of like between the Pi and the FPGA, it emulates the whole protocol of A314. And just a slight variation on the libraries on the Pi side, but it's using more or less exactly the same libraries.
Brilliant.
So there you go.
Complicated ways to access obsolete stuff.
I think it was
I love
basically.
it.
Oh, my video is completely.
Yeah, you did. But I love when you fixed the 3000T issue from Scotland, remoting Amiga 3000 tower here on the right desk. You're using the same technology.
Wow.
Oh, what's happened to my camera? It's just totally dead.
It was the minute you did your screen share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just settled into that slightly relaxed pose with the. Yeah.
I'll
Well,
do right.
you look good and very chill, but yeah.
Yeah. That's you for the rest of the night.
Is
So-
checking is the TFM the 4060 working with the ReSD Mac?
Not yet.
Not yet. There's issues.
It's a re-estimate issue. They know it, and they have one, but it's an issue for it. So.
Okay, so that needs.
So Mike that's doing the work. He got 460, so working on it.
But he's sending new batches very soon, so that probably means we need
I think he
to reflash
prioritized to have a possibility to update the card from the Amiga.
Okay.
The problem is that the re-SDMac that I got and Stephen will get will not be able to update the software from the Amiga.
Right. So we got an early version of it.
Yeah, he have to change to different FPGA, I guess. So, but I got one here.
Yeah.
But we can just use a JTAG. I saw the JTAG on it here.
Your background's killing it, Chucky.
Yeah, I know. I need to have background so Camry can go to the kitchen without being on stream.
You need to recap your background.
Yeah,
I was just looking
I
at
actually
backgrounds
tried
myself.
to use the OBS virtual camera, but you just get still picture.
What about this one?
Ooh, except it's reversed, but
Is it reversed? Is it?
yes.
Hang on. What if I do that? Did that write it?
Yeah, fake. Now it's perfect. Yeah,
I do like fake.
fake 5. No ground for complaints.
Yeah, I'm going to go get another drink. Talk amongst yourselves.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I put my name on the list for ReSD Mac, so hopefully I'll get one soon as well. Not that I need one really,
Yeah.
but you know, I kind of want.
That issue you had on the 3000, another guy had the exact same problem, and he tried like 11 different 74 F74 and find one that worked.
That's
so
really
we
where
have
we.
had random different chips, and it works. And
So there's obviously one type that has the right timings for it or something like that.
yeah,
I'll check what mine is. Maybe we can get the data sheet and try to find out exactly which one is needed. And
problem
they
is
weren't all the
that-
same. The one I had weren't from the same batch, and they were different. You know the way there's different
Yeah,
types,
yeah.
different timings. So
But
Um,
there are actually a new version that I should release in days of the Omega that have a jumper, so you can have 20 megahertz clock instead.
okay.
So takes a clock from different source. Maybe that works better.
Yeah. Now I didn't technically fix it because I'd sent you the SDMAC already, but I couldn't get the right clock on it, and when
Yeah.
I changed that IC, I was getting the
The
right clock.
weird
then
thing
after.
is that the same chip is used for doing the 25 megahertz clock from the 51.
And that's
that
fine.
was perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. But the 40 megahertz one that is done for the 28 megahertz clock is totally garbage.
Yeah, that's really odd. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll see which one I have and see if I can get the exact data sheets for it. Maybe there's something there like it needs exactly the right type of chip or something.
it was strange that you buy different chips and just randomly put in and then suddenly it won't work.
Yeah. But you know the way that some different grades have slightly different timings, you know, or response time.
Yeah, but yeah.
Maybe maybe there's I don't know. We are reading the chat, JC.
Yeah, but the problem is that he's writing on Twitch. So
Yeah, that's right.
on
Yeah, we're
YouTube,
getting
you
into-
can't see the Twitch one, and so
You should
yeah.
you should be able to see it to the right of our StreamYard feed, no? Comments.
There's a feed in StreamYard, but it's always
Yeah,
delayed
but
depending on the
people
platform.
are watching either
Oh
on,
yeah.
on Twitch or YouTube, and so it gets
That is
yeah.
true.
I built myself one of the Hoffman machines with the 600. I had an old 600 that wasn't working. My neighbor actually came here one day and gave me a load of Amiga games, box games, and an Amiga 600. But it was all kind of gone. Like even the case was busted, the hard drive was gone, floppy was gone, the membrane was gone. So I've been refurbishing it like recently, and I put one of the screens that Hoffman used, and I'm using
Or the
that.
reversing TFT camera type things.
Yeah, and then using his PT1210 software just to fuck around. So I might actually go back streaming with it.
You will love this that I built 3 of those last week.
1200? Is that a
It's a
1200?
semi-invisible Amiga,
Yeah.
See-through Amiga.
yeah.
So if I
Looks
In
amazing.
one
with
week.
that cake, Yeah.
then fuck it. But 3 600s.
Oh, that's a 600.
Yes.
Is that the junior?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
I
of
was
those
thinking-
that I planned to do at Terrible Bites that never happened because when I
Yeah.
went down there, happy to solder, there was someone with the ears and doing some ass
Some
stream.
Dave guy, yeah, took over
Yeah.
the stream. Yeah, that's next. I'm gonna build one of the 600s because I'll need obviously 2 of them if I want to do DJ stuff. But is the 600 chipset still easy to find, or?
The Agnos can be a bitch to find.
Yeah, it's still there. No, it's not impossible. Like,
So, Chucky, I gave you a 600. I gave you a 600 to do me a
One
V6.
of those.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not that I really give a monkeys about a 600. It's only so Hoffman can play his demos like
Yeah. And
Yeah,
also
an
building-
invisible one. That's got to be worth something.
Well, let's be honest. What happens is Hoffman will pass out, and Ravi will do the sets of doing one.
Yeah.
No, Hoffman
And
will do
also
a bit.
building,
Anyway,
building 2 1200s for Marcel. 800.net.
yeah, it's those cameras.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
the reversing camera. What I've done is I've made a little 3D print yoke that you can actually stick onto the Amiga and slide the screen on.
Oh, I'd love 2 of them.
Yeah, I'll send you one, and it just like that. It doesn't move, and then I got the composite and the 12 volt straight out of the Amiga just to power it. So there's no messing with power supplies.
I got this one. It got composite.
It's all one unit.
This one got composite and VGA and HDMI.
HDMI, wow. Oh yeah, I got a couple like that. Yeah, yeah, they're reversing cameras for cars.
Well, they're reversing. They're like these aftermarket reversing screens that you press.
Yeah.
You put them in your car and it looks terrible. Or you put them on your Amiga and then you can DJ. So that's
Yeah.
They're meant. They really are meant for Amiga DJing. So,
yeah, that's what they were designed for. But the market was a bit small, so they thought, what else can we use these for? Oh yeah, reversing cameras for cars.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh,
Yeah,
Ficky's got it visible now.
I quite like how you've got that set up so you don't have to have a 12 volt. The amount of cablings that the amount of cabling I had.
Yeah. So yeah, I just got. I took out the RF module out of the 600. So you have space to run the cable and just get the composite out of there. So there's only just the power cable and that's it. And obviously the audio cables, but yeah. And, I'm using one of those modern power supplies, and it does like 5 amp rated for like 5 volts and 3 amps for 12 volts, something like that. Like it's just more than enough.
No, that sounds amazing because that one of the things I remembered. There's two things that seemed to screw up during the DJ sets last year. One was that the amp overheated, and I had to go and find another amp and split them onto 2 channels.
Yeah, but that was for the speakers.
Yeah, and the other bit was there was like so many cables, people were tripping over them.
I know, yeah.
So
yeah, no, there's no messing with cables here. It's just cut it and solder it straight onto the after the 12 volt beads.
Well, one of those 600s, the motherboard is Rob's, I think. So
you can, yeah.
I can do that to Rob. Well, actually,
he's not here.
What he doesn't know.
I love
announced it on a public stream.
Love the fact that the Scottish Amiga user group projector lives in my house. And they come round for it before me, and they come and bring it back another 2 days later. I get my no, it's fine.
Probably the speakers at Ravi's Kickstarter event, yeah.
Yeah, in the brewery, yeah, that was mental. Those were not good speakers.
If you watch a lot of Hoff's modules that I could see, he has the sample normalized, so they're like at max sort of volume. So you have 4 channels of that coming out. Sometimes speakers don't like that.
Yeah.
Or,
it's poor audio system though. I don't think that's his fault.
It was the amp that overheated for us because
it
was. We ended up having to have an amp per speaker, like a literal. Like they should really be able to drive 2 speakers, these amps, but
they were big speakers and it was loud.
I can't remember. Remember.
It was disco loud for a house.
I was thinking for this year I'll dig out my my kit I used when we were doing stuff in the studio, because I've got a proper wee desk and some other bits and pieces that might make things a bit nicer.
Yeah, I mean, I just threw stuff together last year.
Oh yeah. I didn't know you were doing that. I would have thought, but no, I've got a bag of stuff somewhere. I'll just grab it. We use it. If we don't, we don't. But it might give us more options.
Yeah, Peter had to guarantee the sound system at the event in North Walsham before come. To be fair, with Hoff, he was only on for about 45 minutes before he passed out. So. And then Ravi went on till 2 a.m. He did take a break at 11, 12 or something, but it went on. To be fair, Ollie went to bed about midnight.
Not soon after, not long after Hoffman, to be honest.
But you hadn't passed out. You didn't need to get like.
No, but that's me. Yeah.
Old man can't party.
I'm not a night owl, so.
Dave, do you mean the Irish national anthem?
What?
Sorry, the chat. I do apologise.
Also, Dave, come on.
Yeah, come on.
What's going on? You're letting this guy down.
Wally's turned invisible.
He's a way to get a drink.
Yeah.
He's from Craggy Island. So
He's a way to chop a tree down, probably.
we didn't need
Another
to, Dave. Come on, you're in the bath. Jeez. Oh.
It's in the nip.
So, and
That didn't stop me at the last party.
There's a lady I work with, and I had to be delicate about how I said this. So we've got along here.
Where is this going?
Oh, you wait, we'll get there. So we've got these in the local area. We have these like tour groups that come around and look at the houses of interest, and they stand outside the front door and they're looking at the house, and they're like, oh, like it's almost like a tour guide, and you're like, go away! I don't want you looking at my house. So I can't remember how we got into this conversation, but I said, yeah. She said, why don't you just do like shut the gates or like do this other stuff to get rid of them? And I was like, no, I just mow the lawn in inappropriate swimwear.
Just out a wee nice tight pair of Speedos, lovely. Or do you mean you borrow your wife's bathing suit?
But see, that's open to debate, right? I've not said anything inappropriate there, right? I've just said
Nope, not yet.
That's how you say that in corporate speak. You say inappropriate swimwear, and the way I came around to that thinking is because when I was working at SAS, we had there was no dress code for years, and then all of a sudden one day the dress code was no swimwear.
okay.
That's like getting caution contents might be hot.
So,
what happened to prompt
As you
this?
all know, that there's always a reason behind a rule change, right?
I don't know if I want to know the reason for that, but okay.
No swimwear was the dress code.
Was this before or after working at home during COVID?
Before, I mean, I left
Before, right?
16, so it was 15 that this came in.
All right.
No
So I know there's a
swimwear.
lot of people who got used to, shirt and tie from the waist up. Anything below that was fair game.
Well, that's what I'm now.
Exactly. Yeah, Dave, you could at least shut the curtains though, mate. I mean, seriously.
Dave's naked.
Yeah, apparently if you see him naked, it's your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my therapy bill for the month.
To be fair, you shouldn't have fitted that secret camera in the first place.
Right. So, are you actually getting anything hobby Mandragaioli, Eowyn Manshed related done at all at the moment, Ollie, or is it all the logging company time?
Too busy lumberjacking.
Yeah. What is that? Yeah. No, I've done. Actually, today was Pro Tracker Day, so I finished that piece that I sent you. I'll keep that under my belt for now, and then I have another one that I'm working on. No, for 8-bit Manshed, I'd probably show that Amiga 600 build. It's not much to it, but I need a video this month. I have a Castlevania tune done, and then when I was in Lanzarote, I did prep work for about a dozen tune for this year. So
Okay.
yeah, at least have that.
Something's going down with Eric. Oh, he's back.
But yeah, no, I should have it covered at the end before the end of the month, hopefully. And then there's not going to be Amiga stuff this year.
I had two questions for you. There was one was, have you done the Chase HQ video with the building up with the sawdust and is that video out yet? I haven't seen it.
No, I footage. I'm waiting for one last bit to finish it. I need to apply the art and finish the.
Because I actually need to do that repair, like that exact thing. So I'm quite interested in that.
There's not much to it. You don't need to wait for me to release a video. Like it's literally sawdust and copious amount of wood glue, and just mix it until you get a solid paste.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like hummus texture.
I'm just going to do little bits at the time and try and make sure I get into all the, make sure I build it up.
It will take forever to dry, but when it's dry, it's properly dry. Like, and
it's going to be
solid and well bonded, and also it probably shrink and recess.
Right.
You know, because the glue will dry up. So then you use Bondo to fill that section.
Right.
But at least you'll have proper wood and proper bonding with the cab at the core.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Yeah, just get it like sort of hummus-like texture. Like it's not completely liquid and flowing, but it's not hard and tough to kind of spread. Yeah.
Do it in small lumps, let it dry. Small lumps, let it dry.
No,
The more
just one big lump. If you go for
Well,
it.
I see,
Take
I've got
forever to dry.
the tea molding, and I've got to get in behind the tea molding. Well, maybe just do that bit first. Then got to get one side of the tea molding and then the other side of the tea molding. Well, maybe do it that way. Maybe do it in 2 stages, and then sand it down. And
You still have one side that's holding the tea molding anyway, don't you?
There's a wee bit where the tea molding is just moved. So what I'll do is put a clamp and hold the tea molding.
Okay.
It's like it can hold it with a clamp. So
No,
it should be okay. The rest of the machine now is absolutely fine. It's actually really good fun. I'm really enjoying it now.
I won't get to mine for a while. Like,
So we're talking about Operation Wolf, by the way. Just in case.
Yeah.
That light gun one drove me mental for ages, and then finally got that solved. It was working, and then here he is.
Oh, Dave, that probably was me because I've done that on 2 cabs. The first one was a Pac-Man cab, and the other one was that Turbo Eltron cab. Just rebuilding the wood with a mix of sawdust and wood glue.
I don't know if it's for sure, but Holly was saying she was going to do a video about these.
Oh, great.
In the next weeks. Assuming that they work. Because they work perfectly for me, but you know things are. You give them to somebody else and they don't work at all. So
we need to get you a Galaga cab so you can repro those Namco customs.
Well, it was just necessity. It was just like I need to do this, right? So I don't know if you were around at the start. They had such a big fire with one of the early ones of these.
Oh, really?
Because the CPLD puts out 3.3 volts, and the chip I'm using to do the voltage controller, it takes SPI in, but it has an SPI out. And I didn't really think about it, but I just wired the SPI out back to the CPLD, thinking, that. In case I got it wrong or got the in and the out mixed up, I guess. Except the power supply for the voltage controller was 12 volts, and it was putting 12 volts back to the CPLD. So yeah, that was fun.
That'll do it.
Yeah, smoke.
Well, for once, actually, terrible fire. I mean, false marketing. Yeah, that's for sure. I am the only one who actually succeeded to get a TF card actually to have fire live on stream as well.
No, I did it during Amiga Ireland 2021 or 2020.
Did it?
That's right, yeah.
The one that was online. I think it was 2021.
That was great, actually. I enjoyed that. Didn't have to go anywhere.
Ah, come on now. We can't get a breakfast roll on the way.
I was in bed already.
Oh, how was Foil Arms and Hog, by the way? You went to see them?
Oh, yeah, that was great. They're fantastic live. They really are. Although you're a bit on edge when they start kind of walking around the crowd.
I bet you are.
Yeah. And we're close to the front. I was on the aisle.
And you know that if you'd said something, that it'd be like, I'm French.
Oh, nobody's moving when they start going in the crowd. Like, everybody's like
I'd love that, except I probably wouldn't love it.
But they're great fun. Like, they're very good. Very, very good. Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on going and see them if they come to. They'll be in Edinburgh this summer, probably.
If they go your way, yeah, go. Yeah.
We were here just after Terrible Bites. Foil Arms and Hog.
They could have come over.
Foil Arms and Hog and Master Boot Record were on the weekend after Terrible Bites in Glasgow. I was partied out.
Still doing the cleanup, really, aren't they?
Well, no, actually, to be honest, when Terrible Bites happened, then Ravi stayed until Tuesday evening, and on Wednesday evening they started knocking the wall down in my kitchen.
Oh yeah, that's right. I swung by to pick up that thing I'd left, the monitor. It was ongoing at that point.
And everything is still scattered all over the house. Nothing. We're not back to normal operations have not been resumed yet.
No, and I mean that was a big event. I mean, having that much work done, that wasn't like we're going to, I don't know, re-wallpaper. You re-walled the kitchen.
we walled.
We removed, yeah. Gone.
Yeah, removed one wall.
Yeah.
The bit I found scary was when they were putting in the RSJ, and it was. They said it was 30 kgs per meter, and it was 30 per meter, 40 kgs per meter, and it was. I might be making it 30 kgs per meter. I think is the number I remember, and it was 4 meters wide, 4.2 meters wide. So it was 125 or something kilograms. And they put it on a lift and moved it up 15 feet in the air. It was like, whoa! If that had fallen. Oh my god. Momentum in that. Yeah. So, I'm glad that's all done now. That's all done.
Go for next year.
No, it's there's no more squeaky bum stuff left to do with the house. That was pretty scary. So,
I'm out of beers. Damn.
Oh, what? No, you need to go and refill. Are you out of refill?
Out of cold beers.
What about gin?
No tonic. I do have whiskey.
There you go. Easy.
Sorted.
I gave you whiskey.
But I have. But I'll drive tomorrow. I will drive tomorrow. You know, our rates are quite different. Yeah, I will go to the backside of Sweden.
Oh, you're going to go
the asshole of Sweden.
That's a lot. One thing I didn't realize. So I went over to Gerd. Flew to Stockholm, and then we went to where? How do you pronounce the name of that place? Because I could not pronounce it.
Skövde.
It's pronounced Skovde. How is that?
The O with 2 dots.
Right. So it was a 4-hour drive from Stockholm to say the name of the place again.
Skövde.
Yeah, I can't say the name of the place. We actually left Fiona in Stockholm. She got a train 4 hours after we left, and she arrived an hour and a half after we got there. It's like
Sounds like a cracking drive.
the train was really much faster than the driving. It was nightmare. The Swedish roads are like, what's 70 kph in miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour. It was
70 very slow, yeah, but 70 is 43 miles.
Yeah, it was either 40 or 50 mile an hour all the way near north.
Yeah, that road can be quite interesting and slow, yeah. I guess your road from Örebro to Stockholm was much better.
No. Well, then we went up to Karlstad and we did the Embracer archive,
Embracer Game Archive.
which is amazing. And even Fiona liked it. She was going through it and going. The problem was that we kept finding some idiot that put all these copies of this game called Lemmings. We put all through the archive, like a joke.
Yeah.
Some sort of
Weird
viral
guy.
infection.
Yeah, it was like some sort of virus that was all through the archive.
And every one you opened just had Bobag written in it.
They had all these. They were like, how did they get all these Lemmings games in there? We don't know. Hope you're listening, Mike. Just flagging you.
Yeah. I need
then
to
it
go
got
there
there.
and do a real YouTube for YouTube actually for that because that place is quite interesting.
Yeah, no. So, but what I did was I took a few videos and sent them to Neil, and Neil was like, "Ask them about labels." I was like, "What? Ask them about labels on their things. How do they put labels on stuff so it doesn't damage them?" So I asked the guy, and he gave me this long explanation that I couldn't. It was literally so boring I couldn't listen to it. So I said, I put the phone in front of him, turned it on, and said, "Tell Neil what you just said." And then I sent it to Neil because I couldn't concentrate on it. It was so boring. It was so archive grade labels and having this kind of polymer based thing that doesn't leave a residue. And I was like, no, I can't listen to that. But then apparently Neil is going to hook up with a company that makes the labels and get it to the cave. But yeah, I was doing my bit for the retro community.
You don't have any photos on that, right?
I do actually, yeah, but they're on my phone. I don't have them. I can't show them here easily.
Or the special video clip you did
Special video. Oh, for
when you walked,
Oh,
when you found
You make
that
that sound
weird
really
game.
seedy, Chucky.
What?
You make it sound really seedy. Stephen did a special videotape.
Yeah.
let me see if I can find the special video clip. It was, you mean for Mike? One specifically for Mike?
Yeah, we did a special clip for Mike, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. He wasn't very happy. Well, he was very happy actually. That's the irony of Mike Daly is that he particularly likes the.
Peter, well, the 43 miles per hour, 70, that's not the normal speed. Usually have 110 or 120 speed limits, and 120 is 73, I think. So, but we have those weird cars with a red triangle. Do you see them, Stephen?
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them were like
where you can be 15 to drive them, and it drives at maximum 30 kilometers per hour, but it can be actually a lorry. There's no size limit of it.
Jeez.
But the back axle need to be stiff. But I hate them. When they drove, I think an RPG would be something perfect to handle those fucking cars.
Most of the time I found them, they were on. It was on the really out of the way roads, and they were going like the cars were just going straight past them. There wasn't.
Yeah.
I think I've got the video that the clip, the
Yeah.
special video you're asking for. Let me see if I can upload it here. Let me add this.
Very
Okay.
small sneak peek of the archive.
So this was me. So I was specifically did this clip from Mike Daly, who's one of the developers of Lemmings, and I was at this big games archive in Karlstad. So look at all these great Amiga games. Except, what's this fucking piece of shit doing here?
You realise that your name's now on his tablet twice, written in blood.
They had 72,000 different items in the database.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah,
So
looks
we
like
just looked over Lemmings and we got the coordinate of the game in the collection. It's quite
Right.
impressive anyway. So
And do the archive and collect variants as well of different stuff?
Yeah, all
the
of
goal is to find every game ever released in every version ever released.
Oh god.
physically.
Yeah.
Not non-physical games they don't care about.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was the Amiga aisle he went to.
Well, it was good. It was an entertaining. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, so I need to go there and do a proper recording of it because it's hard to explain how it works until you actually see it, right?
Yeah, it's impressive. It's unbelievable. Like you can go into a section, and it's just absolutely.
And they also have tried to
And
have
is it big?
every.
Like, is it a big building? Obviously, it must be like.
It's building in the industrial part of Costa, and it's like anonymous. I mean, really anonymous. When you see outside, you can't really find us,
It's not
but
advertised.
it's a warehouse. It's a warehouse, and they have a business there as well, selling games, etc., or stocking the games.
The left to right, I think, is Ralph,
Yeah,
Chucky, Michael, me, obviously, my wife Fiona, and that's Eric from the TF. That was us. Just as we were leaving, I think we were all ready to eat. We hadn't had any lunch, and we were there for like hours.
That's great. They let you in though. Can you like? I'm assuming you can just visit.
no, this is a private collection,
Yeah.
so they have 5 employees just handling the private collection,
Wow.
but doing archive stuff, etc., and some so people that doing research for games can contact them, etc. But it's not really open for the public. No, it's not. And I can understand why, because if people remove stuff from the shelf,
Sure.
you not need to put it back in the right place,
Yeah.
etc.
No, it's not a museum. It's an archive.
No, it's an archive.
So,
Wow.
Dave is saying, is that the Embracer archive? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it is.
went on this week's retro, but definitely go and look that up. It's an unbelievable place. And obviously, Chucky has a couple of contacts there because it's in Karlstad.
Yeah,
It's like 2 miles from your house or something like that.
yeah. So it's quite close here. Yeah, that way. Yeah, but yeah, it's close here. They are actually they're the company that's actually have the location is thanks to me at work.
I love the.
So-
Myself and Eric were just eyeing up the PDMs. They were the only thing we would have stolen, but they were too heavy to move. They're just it's like you wouldn't have
Which
got
one? Which one?
the PBMs, the Sony's,
Yeah.
the 21-inch Sony PBMs.
Was there any MSX stuff in there?
They
Yeah.
had MS. Yeah,
Well,
there was loads
They
of
have
MS and X68000.
They have two X68000s, right? There.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Oh,
one
no, they-
power and one
Way,
desktop.
though they had about 6 or 7.
Okay.
wow.
You can see why they keep the building anonymous, though. I mean, the value of what's in there, if people knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're planning the heist. No, it's unbelievable. I mean, the thing is though, if we wanted to go in, we probably, we wanted to go test something. We get a day in there. They charge though, right? They charge for you to come in and use a desk.
What for?
They charge. You can by arrangement go and let's say you were
Well,
making a
no,
game.
I don't know, but if you're doing essay or something for a game, then you can contact them and they will show you. You can go there, but you can't go there just for laugh.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Was it that people can book in, like if they were doing a new game for the MSX, they could come and test, or if they were doing a new MSX, they could come and test every car that they have.
when the NES, the new NES they released, the mini NES or whatever, they actually sent one there. So they have a complete collection of all NES games. So they actually tried every game on that one.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's brilliant.
I think they had a complete collection of all Nintendo NES, and there was some more consoles. They had the complete collections of every game ever sold.
It was mind blowing. And then when you went to the Amiga section, Fiona was picking up the boxes and just looking at like all these old games. It was like thousands and thousands of them. It's like even Dave doesn't have anywhere near as many games as this. It's mental.
Oh, look at that! Dave mentioned Ultima.
I want
I
Ultimate.
think
What
I
are
have.
You have almost 25 games.
Dave,
I can.
That means you've got more cats and games, haven't you?
If you check the TV channel 1, you can send some photos there. That I took from so people can have some kind of feeling of the size of
Yeah. So we had to ask Fiona to come out of one of these
Freedom Crusher.
because we wanted
yeah.
to go into the next section. Yeah, and each one is like that.
wow.
That's one half of the Amiga aisle, and then we have the other half of the Amiga aisle as well. That's just Amiga games.
Yeah. There's one with
Who owns
PC.
this?
Sorry,
Who is the owner of this? Who?
it's Embracer.
The owner of Embracer, Lars Wingebäck.
Hey, Gadget.
So I didn't, but you see all the shelves there.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's crazy much stuff there, and everything is cataloged in a database.
Evening Gadget. You jump it
The
on?
cost of that building alone, like those sliding shelves and everything.
It's
and
a tax fight.
maintaining that,
It's a tax fight.
of course.
Must
yeah,
be.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's somebody's got thinking this money. This is all being. They have this rather than give it to the government.
Yeah.
Is that? Can you just do that, man? Don't pay tax and just buy computer game. Brilliant.
Well, you only pay tax on
I guess.
corporation tax. You're right, Gadget. I read that you weren't very well. Hope you're getting better. We'll catch up with you another time.
They have the Commodore Max machines, etc. as well. I've never seen one in real life, but well, yeah, they had one there. And
C64 with no keyboard. Brilliant.
no, the C64 was like 2K of RAM.
Oh, that was the tiny little one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking the GS, aren't I?
No, yeah, but that's a 2K version.
That's right. The
2K.
Max machine.
What can you do with a Commodore 64 with 2K of RAM?
Not much.
Yeah.
I think you could play some cartridge games with them. That's it, right?
At least need a frame buffer, right? You need video
Yeah.
RAM.
Yeah, you had 0.5 kilobyte of RAM for video.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you need some room for a stack. That's your
Yeah.
bare.
The stack is 256 bytes on the C64, if I can remember correct.
Oh yeah. It's fixed, isn't it? It's actually in the first 200.
I think it's static on the second block of 256 bytes. First block is the zero
Vectors.
page or whatever.
Anyway, you got your diagram works for that stack, at least up to a certain point.
Have you filled the stack on diagram?
You don't.
I-
The early stuff doesn't need a stack, right? Because it's got this.
Yeah.
Stupid.
The later one will be fucked up because of C. And everything fucks up right now when I'm doing everything.
But so how's that all going? I saw you were fixing some. And what happened?
Yeah. I'm doing a new RRQ test, and it well, now it doesn't do eternal RRQ hits all the time, but now I can't init RRQ instead. So.
Yeah. So, what else are you working on, Chucky? What else have you got going on?
Diagram 2.0 and building lots of Amigas, and maybe I will start the 3000 Amiga 3000T. I have a motherboard somewhere here, but
Yes.
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Or you can just fix that one and send it to me. Either or, if you want it easy. It'll be a cut
Yeah.
track. It'll be a cut track.
That motherboard is fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's fucking really fucking huge.
So I've got about 3 little projects on the go at the moment. Let me see.
I'm working on killing political correctness, of course. Sadly, I don't have any R-rated beers anymore.
You don't have any R-rated, or you haven't got any retard beers?
No,
That's a shame.
I think I gave you everyone I had, but I think they are gone, right?
I think Fiona drank them.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can present this. So, a couple of little projects I've got going on. I'll start with the. I'll start with the least controversial. Where are we? So I'll start with the one I was just showing on the one I've got here physically. This one. This one is kind of done and dusted. Oh, by the way, I thought Rob would have joined. Oh, heck off, Dave. No, TF536 is already done for the ST, and there's the ST506 and 536, and it's all sorted out. Let's see. Where's my second? Right, so let's see if this works. Does that work? Because it just
Oh yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is my little TC060 digitally controlled attenuator. So it's this wee guy here. We've got like a data bus and 2 clocks, and it's as simple as that. That's the board that myself and Eric helped me get the CH32 onto. Unbelievably love that chip. So next one is the one I did this week. This is a mental wee one. Is a clone for Ito soundboard. This is a surface mount dill socket, because this guy, this big CPLD can't fit inside a 28 pin dill socket. I've got this 28 pin surface mount thing, so you solder the dip socket to the bottom, surface mount one side and dip the other. It's mad.
Right.
I don't know if that does that even. Are you all looking blankly at me? So it's basically a dip socket that's, it's going to go into the PCB that you're planning to deploy it onto. It's going to be a dip socket, but it's soldered to the main board as surface mount. This is a gadget. This guy is for these are for Taito soundboards. These are interrupts between Z80s and 68Ks. So they're like interrupt boards. The next one I've got going on is I don't know. This kind of started out as a doodle because I've got one. Oh no, I did this guy, which is an HB41 hybrid. This is another random thing. These are actually all of these. The last 3 that you've seen are all on on my Terrible Fire GitHub under /arcade. And they're all in there. These are just you go build them, but I ain't supporting them. And the last one is I haven't finished it yet. I don't know if I will, but this is a soundboard reproduction for an Operation Wolf. And honestly, this is more like I've been using it for for diagnosis. So I've been able to I've swapped the dips for surface mounts so they can be pre-assembled, but otherwise the circuit is exactly the same. So I can use this to find I don't know, go till out 1 or something like that, whatever that is, and that's there. And you can find that on the board, and you can see everywhere it is on the board. It's a bit like, instead of it being a hand-drawn PDF and pencil scanned, you can then use this to find where you need it. And it's helped me diagnose my problems on the soundboards. It's just been it's made diagnosing issues massively easier. The thing I don't know if I can show you here without it being too technical, but that was wrong. When I switch to the, let me see if I switch to the sharing on that one and switch to the other one.
Your audio's dropping, Stephen.
Yeah, your audio's good.
Audio's dropping.
Yeah, the music's fine, but your mic seems to be dropping out.
Let me have a look. Sound setting. Is that any better?
No, it's fine. No,
It's fine now, yeah. So it was when you had that thing up, you were talking, it was like your voice was just dipping in and out.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh,
Okay.
I did it again there.
How's that?
That's fine there. Say a sentence.
I don't know.
Go for the quick brown. Go on, do it.
Quick brown fox jumps over the stupid Chucky in a box.
That was all very clear. That was okay.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
You know when Chucky redoes boards for the Amiga, he calls them Re-Amiga. If you're doing Tato stuff, I think you should call them Po.
Call them what?
Well, instead of Re-Amiga, you could go for Potato.
Potato. Okay.
Oh,
I could go that. Let me.
I'm fine with low-hanging fruit for puns these days. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a consequence of being a father.
I got headache.
You do now.
Right.
Yeah.
So on these Tatos, there's a standard sort of audio circuit that's for the FM stuff, but then there's two actual sample circuits. These are. Can you see my mouse pointer at all, or is it not?
Yeah, we can.
So this is a counter. So this guy counts, and this guy counts. So they get set by the processor to count. Then they've got this comparator here that's, say, we set a value when they stop. We'll keep counting until they stop. And then there's a big badass ROM, and they just read the data from the ROM into this MSM chip. So it's basically like DMAing from a ROM samples, and there's two sets of these counters. And that's basically what the whole of that circuit is. It's just a massive counting circuit. It's just unbelievable. Who's talking about plums? It'd have to be Dave, wouldn't it? Have to be Dave.
It's usually Dave.
Everything is Dave.
So, John, have you went and got yourself a whiskey yet?
No, I think I skip it because I will drive tomorrow early.
That's a big whiskey, Stephen.
Yeah.
We
And
keep
you know our limits here in Sweden.
0.2. 0.02.
0.2. 0.02. Yeah.
So basically, in England, it's 0.8? 0.08, sorry. 0.08 milligram, 80 milligrams per milliliter. In the Scotland, it's 50 milligrams per milliliter. In Sweden, it's 20 milligrams per milliliter. So basically, if you look at an alcoholic drink, you can't drive for 3 days.
Yeah.
Is the public transport any good, though?
It is. It is.
Oh, see, that's
Quite
the
good.
difference.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
here, you're just stuffed in general.
The public transport is fine in the cities and towns, but there's a lot of chichters. There's a lot of country stuff, and we went up. So after we'd been to the demo parties, Stockholm, the demo party, Karlstad, my wife and I went up to the I wouldn't even call it the north of Sweden. But we drove
Not close to north. Not even close to north.
we drove for 2 hours in the driving snow. And we got to this place and we got in and we were fine. And then when we were coming back a couple of days later, Google took us this road and it looked like a perfectly sane road. You think it's not a sane road?
No. It's not the same road.
No, it's
You
a road.
recognize a car in front of you and you note that they have the same plate as you. Oh, damn, it's me. Was it? It's back outside of your car.
It wasn't that bad. The weather was nice, but it hadn't been cleared by snowplows, or at least the straights had, but the corners hadn't.
Yeah.
And there was like bouldery style rock ice all over the place, and the car with its
Lane.
departure stuff. It would see the snow as lines, and it would start steering like randomly. And you're like, no, oh my god, don't steer. I have no idea how we didn't end up in a hedge, to be honest.
But it was better after when you got from Örebro back to Stockholm.
Örebro, yeah, of course, we turned up in Örebro like less than 24 hours after that shooting.
Yeah, and you asked me if Örebro is fine, and I said no problem at all. and then there was a shooting there. And
Like-
the
like
weird thing is that when long time ago, when my mother's sister was visiting here, and she asked, "The place you live, or is it okay?" I heard rumors about. No, it's fine. It's fine. You can come here. It's fine. And the night before they come to us, then my neighbor was stabbed to death. So don't ask me if that place is good, because apparently something bad happens when.
Yeah, if you ask the question, just don't ask John about anywhere, really. It's
No. I think you asked me if Örebro was fine. I said, no problem. A half
No, it
hour
was-
later, there was a shooting.
If it was Stabby Land or not.
And I thought, no, just bombs.
Yeah.
That's about 1 hour drive from here. But after that one, you have just highway, right? Just
Yeah, that was fine. That was all easy to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we decided to leave on Wednesday night and go down to there.
But everything north of Stockholm is nothing.
Even Elliot is the angel of death, though, isn't he? He really is. Well, we managed to get the death knolls just as we said that as well.
Maybe you did have a conversation with someone there on the phone or something.
you never know. You never know.
I think I have some phone numbers you would need
Yeah,
to
people you
dial.
don't like.
Hammocks, maybe. Maybe some people from Germany? No?
No, I'm more thinking about a weird country, west-ish.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A country that they don't like you urinating into anymore, from Finland.
That's east, but yeah.
Oh, Scotland. Stephen's always on the phone to me. I'm fine.
But for how long? Yeah, it's funny, you were talking about the terrible roads in Sweden, and we were laughing and joking about that, and then I went to a job up north, and there's only one way in or out. It's a Highland estate, and again, it's a single track road, but it's fine. It's a single track road. You get used to them, you drive them, they're fine, until they're not, because a bridge has collapsed. So the detour for everyone travelling it, including people in normal punters' cars, was literally a forest track used by forestry. Bear in mind, I was in the Land Rover, but I was up to my axles in mud. I would have hated to have been in anything that was not that vehicle, because it was a nightmare in that. So you can just imagine someone in like a Ford Fiesta. Yeah. Yeah. This is your detour, on you go. Yeah, spending the night somewhere in the darkest forest near Eventon. Brilliant. Yeah, it wasn't the best. It was just really deep mud, but it felt like driving on snow. It really did. I'm still washing it off the car. Every time I hit it with the pressure washer, more mud falls out. It's like, where is this staying? I don't understand. Yeah. So, no, it happens here too.
Stephen, you missed the most important part of the postal code of the place you were in.
Oh, of course, yes. The postcode of the place I was staying at was 68060.
Ah, yes, the last real processor
Yeah.
in that family. Anything beyond that being not real.
I actually remember thinking, because we were so tired, we'd driven so many miles, and I'd been up so late the night before at the demo party. I was like saying to Fiona, just get the fucking postcode of the place, right? Because when you get tetchy and you're driving and the snow and you're like, you can't see anything, and you're like, and you're not convinced that on the car's sat nav was going mental. So just put the. Oh, and that's the other thing. For some reason, Fiona's data wasn't working. It hadn't activated her phone. Right, so there's no Swedish postcode 68080. That tells you everything you need to know. And then she spends 3 minutes looking through the phone and goes, it's 68060, and I'm like, Of course, I knew that, right? That's the whole reason we're going there. That was a bit of a drive up there, though. Is it Torsby?
Torsby, yeah.
Yeah, that was. It got really bad after that.
Yeah, that's the last part of civilization.
Yeah.
Or whatever you can call it.
Beyond that, dragons.
I was just before Branagh. I was coming into and I was just driving along normal, and then I saw some sort of like oh, there's something on the road, speed bump. We're like Dukes of Hazzard before because we didn't have enough notice to slow down. Like it was like, oh my god! I mean,
that's because you missed the fact that was a 550 road.
No, I did it at 50. Boom, but it's still
What do they call speed bumps over there, Stephen?
I don't know.
John?
Fart hinder. You know where end station is?
Oh,
The slot station, yeah.
Slot station, slutstation, but yeah. The Swedish name for speed is fart.
Fart, yes. What's your fart?
And the Swedish name for poison is gift,
but I
and
saw.
Marriage is gift.
But hold on,
Same word for marriage and poison.
Marriage and poison,
Yeah.
marvellous.
In the restaurant, there was an in fart and an out fart.
Yeah. Entrance and exit, but yeah.
One's more acceptable than the other.
Yeah.
Don't try to pay for anything in cash in Sweden.
No. I didn't joke to you when I said, "Oh, that's how it looks like when you showed me money," because I had no fucking clue.
But you can't. But the demo party, you had to either buy the Swish or with cash. There was no other.
Yeah. We have the. Yeah, it's probably impossible to Swish app, but yeah.
How did you get that? How do everything in Sweden is also see-through? By the way.
Yeah. Makes it really difficult. I can see when you hit that speed bump, it probably wasn't even visible until the very last minute. It's the massive Commodore logo in front of you as you're driving.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it was a 50, but I was like, yeah, okay, it's 50. Yes. Is that a speed? I thought it was a zebra crossing, and then it was like 10 feet from it. I realized it was a Jesus sleepy policeman thing. It was like, whoa, do.
Well, it's like when they had a temporary speed camera here. What's that? Fuck!
And is Sweden? I haven't had any yet. I haven't had any notices that I've been speeding, so I think it's probably maybe okay.
It's always a flash if you've been flashed. But I think as you had a rental, kind of get dismissed, I think.
Oh, now you tell me. I was sticking to the speed limit the whole time.
It's not worth the paperwork, Stephen. You could have been hoofing it about everything.
I think.
Yeah, you could have been overclocking it right across 68060.
The only way I would have got it's the speed kept going from 70 to 80 to 70 to 80 to 70 to 80 to 70 to 80 everywhere. So if you and we left the demo party town an hour before you, and you beat us, Karlstad. So you must have been going way faster than me.
No, normal speed.
No,
Plus tax.
plus tax. Yeah.
We have 25% VAT here, so add 25%.
I see.
Waze tells me where's the camera, so I just put it in there and.
But I was talking to Eric and Ralph and Fiona, so it was like there was too much chat happening, and when you've got loads of chat happening, you don't speak because.
Well, Waze tells you when it's camera, so perfect.
Well, he's hammering the keyboard there.
Yep. It's time a strongly worded letter to the Swedish police telling them all about Chucky.
They will introduce now that they maybe take photos between and calculate your distance between.
Average,
between,
yeah.
and then,
We've got a lot of that here.
Yeah.
It's still not
really
legal
nice.
here. It's still not legal here.
No, right,
You can't take a photo unless you've broken the law.
right.
So they need to change the law for that one.
No, I mean a lot of the roads here, especially the A9. So once you get north of Perth here up towards Inverness, it's average speed cameras the whole way.
But you've worked out that
You don't do it on the dual carriageway sections. It's in sections. So the minute you find dual carriageway, you're clear apart from vans.
106. That's the speed limit in the islands.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, the Land Rover can't go above 112 because of the gearing, so I'm told.
Oh dear. 20. Oh, Dave, just stop it.
Dave, it doesn't even rhyme, mate.
Is Dave still in his bath?
Yeah, he takes a long bath.
I mean,
Ollie, he's stuck. He's going to make me go round and get him out later.
Just have some more gin, Stephen. Sorry, I can't come, Dave. I've been drinking.
No, he'll say, I'll pay for the Uber. and the forklift. Anyway, sorry.
oh, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not repeating that.
Yep, there's a mental image no one needs.
Oh dear. Descended downhill. What downhill?
Well.
Was. Ooh.
Chucky, I've ended up in the same boat as you, mate.
Yeah, I will soon go because up early tomorrow, drive to Stockholm.
So
Just to
what's-
be there for an arcade with the kids and then
Nah.
eat at Hard Rock Cafe and then sleep at a hotel and go back. But I promised.
Well, to be fair, I spent
just-
2 hours at a kid's party today, so you do things for your children that.
Actually, sometimes, yeah.
So Rob was round here earlier in the week, and I was trying to persuade him revision because, hear me out, he's going to be a dad again in
That's right, yeah.
and apparently the family go home to Ireland for Easter. So I see no excuses.
It's going to be his last party for a long while.
Yeah.
But Ollie
I'm-
told
I'm-
that he will go
I'm-
to revision as well, so he promised.
What's that?
Ollie promised that he will go to revision.
I promised, fuck all, dude.
Yeah, you did.
I'm French. I do what I like. You can actually almost.
They have Leffe. They will have Leffe beer.
I mean,
I will make sure.
Ollie, you could put it. I could put it to you this way. It's only 2 kilometers inside.
Dave.
It's
Oh,
only
Luke
2
is clean.
kilometers inside. It's almost France, basically. It's almost France.
Yeah, it's almost France.
Hello.
You can walk to France and take a piece over the border. No problem.
Just tell Fiona you went to France.
Bring the peace flag back.
Oh, that was a lovely bath. Thank you for joining me in it.
Took a while.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't had Eowyn for a few months. So.
Fucking hell, I'm gonna tell you that. Absolutely knackered.
What have you been up to?
Oh, I was working all day and then I went to my dad's afterwards and I only got back home. I was freezing cold when I was doing something outside with my dad and I'm freezing cold when I got home, so I thought I'd have a bath first to warm up rather than heat the house up.
Is that room you're in a shed or is it part of your house? Or
Part of the house.
Alright.
But it's an extension that was built years and years ago, so it's not as warm as the rest of the house.
Right.
And the radiator's fairly small, so if I turned the heating on, it would take like a couple of hours to warm up, and I'd still be cold. And you know how when you're cold, it takes you
Yeah.
a lot to get heat back in. You thought the bath's the best way, so I want to have a bath anyway, so I'd have it before rather than after.
I recommend a non-terrible fire.
Is that all 25-year games there, Dave?
I think most of them are there. There must be at least 20 of them there.
How many of them are cats?
One.
Do we have any cat games? There's one cat. There's one cat. You can see her there.
Yeah.
Dottie, give me a little Dottie.
Oh, wow, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
If I try that with Willow, she just gives me disdainful looks, as she's currently doing now.
Hiya, pal.
Yeah, thinking of how to conquer the world or something like that. Yeah.
Nah, she just wants treats.
Does she know words?
Sometimes. She's old, so she very much decides what and when and why and
Because
how.
that word you said that she wants, my cats know what that is, and I don't say it because of that.
Ah, see.
I love that cats have.
Treats.
I love that cats
Treats.
have a stance and look
Damn.
for both fuck off and pay attention to me.
Yes.
My other
At the
cat,
same
Johnny,
time.
will be growling at me as if don't you fucking touch me, while I'm patting him and he's pushing himself in to get me to pat him more. He's growling. It's like two cats in one. Thanks, Doc. My microphone needed to be spread all over the place. You wee cow.
All these cats, your cat, the ginger one, is mental. It's like it comes to you and then it runs away.
Yeah, whoopsie, yeah.
Oh, they've got two thoughts going on at once. They definitely have. One thought is like, oh, curiosity. The other thought is like, fuck, run away.
That's why we called her whoopsie. She wasn't meant to happen, like. It's like
Whoopsie, that was our youngest son. No.
I think Rob, that might be the name of Rob's baby.
That's just whoop.
Whoops.
Do you think she got him drunk and that's what happened?
I don't know, but I mean,
How do you set the mood for Rob? Do you just bring loads of leaves in and pile them all over the bed?
Oh dear. Poor Rob.
I know.
There's not a bit of harm in him either. He doesn't deserve anything.
No, he doesn't deserve any of this at all.
I went to pick up Callan from Taekwondo in Shawlands the other day, and there's a biffer right outside, and I was like, "Oh, what?" Callan goes, "Oh, that's where Rob sleeps."
It's amazing that I smile when I see a biffer now out and about.
Yeah, apparently, Rob's wife sends him pictures of biffers.
Oh, good. It's good that she's happy about it rather than embarrassed or anything.
Well, she was here at Terrible Bites, and she's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I did meet her.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she
fine,
seemed
yeah.
nice.
Oh, nice. Some advertising there for you, Stephen.
Oh, because I'm the coolest streamer in the whole world, and I need advertising.
Bye.
Why is her picture sideways? Did she like sort of stick her head sideways into a shot and take it? Is that a thing people do?
Like that.
What?
Yeah. There's chat, Dave, on the right. If you go to comments, there's someone advertising that they do things.
I'm on top messages. Let me just change to all messages. No, I don't see it.
No, Nora Hazel 67.
No,
You
what
look
about
in-
MSX is the last thing I see.
But that's
You looking on
You're
StreamYard?
looking at the YouTube
StreamYard because it's a
Yeah.
Twitch.
To the right of our stream, as it were.
Oh, there we are. Sorry, bothering you. I do custom art for streamers and YouTube. Yeah, thanks, but no.
It's the profile picture, I like the whole height.
Yeah,
I
what they do,
use
they come in
Stevens app
RMC
here.
Discord all the time. They start
Right,
messaging people, and it's so obvious when they join.
Yeah.
Right, I'm out of beer. I'll be back in a minute.
There we go.
Do the
What's in his mouth on his picture?
It's a double biscuit.
Ah,
That's normal.
Oh, we should give a shout out to Johnny.
Johnny, come here, Johnny.
No,
He doesn't agree with us.
Not your cat, Johnny. Johnny, our resident medical advice. Or
So,
right.
When I was taking the piss out of him, I didn't realise he'd hurt himself badly.
I'm going to slag him so hard when I see him, but yeah, I want him to get better.
Yeah, his hand, isn't it?
Hey, he hit a sheep.
He says he knows the farmer that owns the sheep, so he will get to find out how the sheep is. And
Oh, the sheep's
know
not
that-
flooding already. I thought the sheep would be. I mean, have you seen it? I've seen cars hit. You probably have as well, Oli. What happens to a sheep when a car hits it? It's not.
well,
It's,
if the sheep,
a sheep is like a balloon.
yeah, if the sheep has been put down, that's fine. If the sheep is fine, that's fine. I just don't want a sheep in the middle of flock in absolute torturous pain and nobody knows.
Yeah.
My dad, I told this is true. My dad hit a greyhound, so he got out in his car. Wasn't going very fast. It was just 2 streets away from his house, and this greyhound dashes out in front of the car, and he slams on the brakes, but he still hits the greyhound, knocks it over, and he's out the car. And the greyhound seems okay, and the woman takes it away. And then later he finds out the greyhound's okay and finds out what the greyhound's name is. The greyhound's name is Dave.
Oh dear. Oh no.
But he was in absolute state, and he wasn't sleeping, and he wasn't for driving and all sorts until he found out this greyhound was all right.
What about your dad?
It's got to be dramatic, even in that, like especially a dog or a cat, you know, like a pet. Or something.
I'd rather hit a person than a dog. Apart from the legal repercussions, I'd rather at least you can explain to a person, I'm sorry, you'll get better. Whereas a poor wee dog. Plus, I might like animals better than people.
A lot of my cousins on the islands have hit deer lately. They've had really bad accidents of hitting deer. Deer, because they aren't colouring them. They aren't.
You just need the right vehicle, Stephen.
I know somebody that hit a deer. Did it on purpose.
Definitely on
Sorry,
purpose.
They're hitting deers because the deers aren't coloured. What
Culled.
are you talking about?
Cold.
Oh, culled.
It's an old.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Can't he say coloured anymore? My dad says that word, and I have to tell him every single time, and he never learns.
No.
Right.
Anyway,
More drinks.
Oh, what's up? To?
apparently it's night time, so my house has decided it's going to turn all the lights off.
Oh, jeez.
Smart homes are great until they're not.
I need to set up some lights on sensors so they turn themselves on, and I'm wondering if the cats are going to spend all night just zooming through the house. Just the lights go woo.
That'd be amazing if they went off really quick and it was just a.
Aye.
When you get the zoomies, it's just like you can track them.
They do though. They chase each other because it's quite a fairly big bungalow. I mean, bungalows aren't usually that big. It's 4-bedroom bungalows, so they've got a long way to run, and they'll pelt the whole fucking length of the house, smack into walls and stuff.
Nice.
You absolute moron.
3 in the morning usually, I take it.
Oh, aye, when they get the zoomies. But because I sleep with a machine, I never hear any anyway. I nothing wakes me up.
The back to tank for you, is it?
Yes, back to tank. Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Hmm.
I thought we'd have had a bit of Stephen Elliott. I thought we'd have had a story because something must have happened to him in the last.
Yeah.
3 months. Oh,
No, he's
Mike.
off ski, isn't he?
Yeah,
You muted Dave again.
Your mic's just totally died. I like this quieter Dave. It's much
What about now?
better.
Back.
The microphone's got this touch to mute thing, and the cats were always muting it, so I disabled it, but it's re-enabled itself, the fucking dick. Thank you very much, Shure microphone. It's got this kind of LED thing on it, which you might be able to see. Aye. So the LED will... I don't know if I'll pick it up there, but if I... and mutes itself. Fancy microphone, pain in the dick.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
That's stupid because you're
I
very
do.
likely to actually touch the mic.
Well, you can lock it off. You can lock that function off, and that's what I did. But for some reason, it's disabled itself. Because you know what Windows like with sound devices. Windows like, oh, you plugged in a microphone. Well, let's make it a fucking speaker too.
That's why I don't use Windows devices.
Yeah, you have to use the ear ones.
Yeah,
You're using Windows now.
I did like the fact that it was Eric, me, Ralph, Eamon, 4 of us with Max, and you just said what you usually say about Max. Right?
Yeah.
4 people instantly offended. Well, not really. Well,
No, not really. No, they didn't get offended. They're kind
I
of.
think if you know
I
you first,
think-
then it's fine.
I think those in Germany at the revision, they got offended when I told them about Germans no humor.
they did actually get offended.
Yeah.
That one, that was funny.
There you go.
Is
That looks.
is that all the damage you had from that?
That's all the damage, yeah, from hitting a
Still
deer.
looks dear though.
It was about 16 grand's worth of repairs apparently.
Fucking hell.
But that was a deer at 60 miles an hour, and a cable tied the headlamp back in place and drove home.
The
You
deer was
don't
going at
often do
60.
that.
How fast were you going?
Well, the deer didn't have any insurance. That was the worst part. But yeah, it wasn't terrible for given what happened. I mean, that wasn't like a little deer. That was a proper big bastard. So
How? I mean, is there a possibility that deer could have gone flying through the windscreen and you?
not with the Land Rover. No, it's too high. I mean, you're kind of yeah, it's quite a high vehicle.
So
I'd
I'd
be
have
very
been fucked.
surprised. Yeah, and something like the Jag or even my other car, I would have been.
Because my
probably
Jag's lower than a normal car as well. So I'd have been fucking. Yeah.
Then again, the benefit you would have is the Jag's quite profiled, so it might have actually just gone up and over.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Whereas the
Or
Land
half
Rover,
it would.
The
just a
problem
big
with
slab.
Graham had was that Bambi was chasing them all the way.
I know. Unhappy that I'd
Yeah.
killed their mum.
How did you feel about it afterwards? Did that affect you?
I tried not to think about it, if I'm honest. It wasn't.
So it's a good thing we don't remind you.
No, definitely doesn't come up. But then again, I bring it up myself now, so it's become a bit of a joke. So
Yeah. How long ago was it?
that
3 years?
was
A couple of years.
2021,
Right. Okay.
February 2021. Oh look, there's the dashcam footage.
Well, let's go for it.
Really?
Yeah,
I've seen
let's
it
go.
before. I've seen it before.
Yeah, but the viewers haven't.
The viewers haven't. Right. Okay. Hang on.
It's always traumatic. As long as you don't have the spliced Bambi version, that's a bit traumatic.
No, I'm not doing that. You're right.
The
What's wrong
Bambi-
with that one?
What's that?
What's wrong with the Bambi version?
So yeah, there's the speed at the bottom actually. You can see how fast I was going.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Can you stop? Any reason to stop? Drive along, quite relaxed, nothing to worry about. Perfectly normal. Obeying the speed limit.
Fine.
So I don't. Do you look back and think to yourself, could I have reacted faster? I don't think. You
Well,
could have.
I don't think I could have. I mean, I managed to drop about 4 miles an hour, which was actually not bad given the timescales involved. But we do a lot of work for various clients up north, and one of them's an ex-policeman. He was a trained driver, like police chase driver, whatever the advanced training they got was. And I showed him that, and he said,
Chase HQ. That's what they call them.
"Yeah, that's it. They just play Chase HQ constantly." But yeah, he said.
Best driving
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, but he said that there's probably nothing he would have been able to do differently either, and I'm like that made me feel a bit better because you do
Yeah.
think, could I have reacted? Could I have? I mean, you saw me slowing down at the end. I stopped. We got out. We ran back.
yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah, you were. I mean, if you'd even slightly more notice, you'd have stopped dead in front of it.
Yes,
Um,
it was
Instead of-
that's Loch Earn Head. There's a yacht club and it actually came out from behind one of the big signs. So if you're coming the other way, it's telling you the car park's just in on the left shortly. So it's just trees and then big sign, and it just, you saw the video.
Was the deer killed instantly?
I've no idea. It disappeared. So they tend to do this terrible thing where if they get hit, adrenaline, they will try and find somewhere quiet just to get away. So I think it probably found somewhere quiet in some trees.
Humans do that as well. Humans do that as well. The adrenaline will carry you forward, and you think, "No, I'm fine. I've just been hit by a car. I'm fine." And then a few minutes later, you're absolutely not fine.
I know. I mean, it was pitch black, middle of nowhere. So we went out. I was using my phone torch trying to work out where it had gone.
You see, was someone else with you?
Yeah, I was in the car with my colleague. He was in the passenger.
So that would have been better. On your own, you'd have been worse.
Yes, definitely. So went back, couldn't find it. It had gone off somewhere potentially to die.
You did say no idea earlier on. I didn't pick up on that. Do you take its eyes out?
Yeah, no idea. Yeah. But yeah, just wrong from there. Pulled into a lay-by. I got out, went round. I had to basically pull on the outside of the passenger door while he pushed from the inside because the wing had pushed into it. But once we got clear of that, 2 cable ties to hold the headlight in place, and then we drove the hour and a half home.
You can see the car didn't do any kind of rumble as if he'd had a major impact.
I didn't go over it. I basically just got pushed out the way.
Yeah.
So.
That's scary. I mean, it could happen to anybody.
I mean, that just the size of it as well. I mean, the small deer, but the roe deer, the little ones, not a big worry. But yeah, something that size, I'm just glad I was in the car I was in, to be honest.
Yeah, and you see that happens in the Western Isles all the time.
Yeah, but my mum's first cousin and her son separately hit deer, had big bad accidents. They're doing like there's on the island you've got a road that connects the west and the east, and it's basically moor. There's nobody lives in it, and you do. There's a lot of people speed on it, but you would never. It's 60, and it's up and down dips and moorland, and it's fairly open. But then you get these deers that just run across the road like that. The worst thing you can do is swerve. You're better to straight. So they go off the road and then they're up on the roof or whatever.
I think my reaction would be to stop dead rather than swerve. I don't think I would swerve, thankfully. I don't think you think. I don't think you make a choice. You just react. Yeah.
No, I mean, it was literally. I just stood on the brake.
Yeah. And you didn't make a decision to stood the brake. You just reacted.
No, I just reacted. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get them in? Do you get great big fucking moose in Sweden, Chucky?
Yeah.
On the roads.
Yeah, deer is small compared to.
Yeah, in comparison to what you get, I know.
Yeah.
That's
they are really huge. When you see them, they are huge.
Yeah, at that point, I would be in danger of it coming through the Land Rover.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Actually, when I was in Gothenburg, like 2 months ago, I drove past a car that actually smashed into a moose, and it was total. The car was just gone.
Wow.
I've seen pictures of Americans driving into presumed their deer. I don't know if their deer are different than their deer, and it's going inside the car, and it's just absolute carnage, just blood everywhere.
I think that's what Peter was talking about. If the antlers make it through the windscreen, you can be in real trouble.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
That's why I have a van.
Do you get deer in Ireland? Yeah.
Yeah, there's deers in Ireland, and that's where I live. Like it's a funny landscape where I am. Like it's the Burren, so it's kind of very rocky, and there's not that many trees around, except around my house.
Yeah.
But
where they're all piled up.
Yeah. But no, it's so there's not enough kind of forests where I am, like for big mammals like deers and all this stuff. But yeah, inland, and yeah, we've big forests here as well, so you get deer, right?
But no snakes.
No snakes, no deadly spiders. Yeah, like Yeah, a sheep is the deadliest fucking thing you'd find.
Headley sheep.
Yeah.
Sheeps and one occasionally weird French guy, right? That's only dangerous.
Yeah, it's weird there's no snakes in Ireland.
St. Patrick got rid of them all. That's the rumour.
Yeah.
It's the myth or legend. That's it. Legend's the right
legend,
word.
yeah. But like you have them in England. Not many, but you know,
Yeah.
few snakes.
They get them in here as well. There's adders up in Scotland. I've never seen an
Exactly,
adder,
yeah,
but you
so-
get them. Harmless wee things.
We had loads of them when I was a kid in France. We lived near a river as well, so there's like asps and adders and water snakes.
Anything
Yeah.
venomous?
Yeah, the asp would be a problem, alright.
And active server pages were a nightmare.
Ooh, the kick smash.
Kick smash.
Oh, yeah.
Piece of shit. No, it's a great idea thing. Actually, the problem is not the kick smash. It's Amigas. They've all got different slight spacings on the freaking. They've all got different spacings.
Every model has a different spacing.
So
I think you can use that one in Amiga 3000 actually.
Okay.
So what's a kick smash then?
It's kickstart replacement that you can flash from either the Amiga or via USB with the board in the machine.
Oh, I see. So you can choose your. So it's like a kickstart switch, except it's up the next level.
Yeah, you can also flash it from the Amiga.
Yeah.
I think, and so I'm using it for doing diagram. So I can, when I compile it, I can just flash it over from my PC directly to the Amiga and put it up and test it on a real machine. It worked perfect for me. Except there's a bug in it where from the Raspberry Pi firmware that if you do a verify, it will fail. I actually just got a note from them that they have fixed it. So, but you can have 8 different kickstarts.
And how do you choose between them? Can you do that in a software method?
You do it via software or either via the USB port or software on the.
I saw there was one that's a short reset will go to one of them, and a long reset will go to another.
Oh, that's clever.
That's nice.
But there's different hardware for every different version. So you got the Amiga 4000 version, and you needed one for the tower, and there's like 1 millimeter diff of the pins.
I'm starting to get kind of scared about how many Amigas I've got, because I've got the Amiga 4000 CR, which is this one here, which I use for.
And that one has an even different version.
Yeah, because it's now Elon. Then I've got 2 4000Ds, T, a 3000D, a AA3000 Plus, and Johnny offloaded a 2000 onto me, and I have 2 2000s now. I'm totaling it up. I've got over 50 Amigas.
The 2000 was handy because if World War III does happen, you can hide in the case.
Exactly.
What you can do with the 2000, and this is my advice, is you could probably get a PC in there. Just take the shitty Amiga out and put a PC in.
And you could probably even get an Atari ST in there, Dave, really, if you wanted.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
You could also just open the box and take a dump in it, like, but...
Yeah. I think that's probably the order of greatness there. The PC, Atari ST, take a dump in it. All upgrades, though.
Well, I did say to Johnny, because he sold me an Amiga 2000 TF536 in it. I said, what the fuck?
What a terrible buyer.
It's got this homemade card in it, Stephen. I don't know if you'll want it. I don't know who made it. The guy's a bit of a dick.
It's a knockoff of those cards that Jens makes.
Aye, good luck getting support.
I've got 5 Amigas now. Why do I need 5 Amigas?
You don't.
Fine.
Nobody needs. In fact, nobody needs any Amigas. Let's be honest.
I know, it's true.
They just multiply once you have one.
Aye.
Yeah, there's something weird with them, as they do multiply. Yeah.
Especially in your case, John. You're breeding them.
He is literally breeding. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, his head's disappeared. Oh, no, it's back. It's gone again.
Yeah.
When we went to Gerb, before we went to Gerb, he came. How many
chipsets?
Oh,
chipsets?
is that your stuff from Anal Logic?
Yeah. For 3,000 pounds.
Ah.
Yeah, he got 3,000 quid's worth of stuff shipped here, and I smuggled it.
How would customs know though? You would just say, "Okay, it's just a few old chips that my dad gave me for his dad or something."
Because I say they're
No,
custom-
it's fine. He stuck them in condoms and put them up his.
Prison pocket.
That's the one.
Can you imagine the customs guys going, "I've actually got
Producing
that guy
Eric,
here
yeah.
with something up him. Come on, let's get out." They're like, "Oh, come on. We can't do you for this. On your way."
Why did you even smuggle them like that? I just liked it.
These,
You want to hear some tunes?
I have to say, though, I was really glad to see my suitcase because I was like, oh, no, it
Oh,
disappeared.
yeah. You lose that.
Aye.
That would be rough.
That
Yeah.
was-
Back to the minute.
Yeah, well, so I will build some boards with it.
Oh, and you finally
Then-
got Eric a CD32 as well.
Yeah, and I built 2 CD32s, gave him one, and I sent another one to another guy. And now I got the mail. I got to hear word for a while, then it blew up.
Oh dear.
That's irritating.
You're not having a lot of luck at the moment.
No, that's really annoying.
What do you do? Like, you just send it back and you try to fix it, or you try to help them?
Yeah. Thing is, I sent 2 4000D CR to one to US and one to Canada.
Yeah.
Both died on the way.
And
Yeah, you were
somebody,
saying that. Yeah.
somebody say that it was X-rays that did it.
Well, we
Might have
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
it-
somebody suggested that. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still not true because then he replaced with his ROMs and it worked, and then he put it into the case and it crashed. And then turn it on, it works, and then he just touched the ROM and it crashed. So oh fuck, and it yeah.
Dry
But he
joint.
sent it-
I think Norwegian issue.
Peter Walland, yeah, he think he blew it up. I will not say it, but yeah.
It wasn't you.
I think so. Yeah.
That's the way it is. I shorted my Amiga out thanks to not using proper wire when I resold the DIN connector for. I used a 500 keyboard and a 1200, and I
Yeah.
wanted the LEDs working, so I had to redo the wire loom inside, and I just used the wires that were there already that Stephen, what's his name, used from Checkmate on
Stephen
it,
Jo-
and they were shite wires, and one of them snapped off, and it happened to be the 5-volt wire which shorted across the whole board, and a fuse went, and by fuse what I meant is trace. But it was an easy fix.
Not ideal though.
I couldn't work out what it was. I couldn't work out what I'd done though, and I thought it was to do with the way I'd plugged in the IDE. But no, it was the little wire coming. I'd come off and shorted it. It wasn't the end of the world.
Usually 5 volts to a signal wouldn't do anything. Yes.
I think it was 5 to ground.
Ah,
Okay, yeah,
right.
that-
So
that
proper
does
dead
more
short
stuff,
with the burning and the
Yeah,
wheeling and the gnashing of teeth.
but it won't go through any components. So it just went through the.
Yeah.
There's a right before the power supply in. There's a little trace there that acts as a fuse if you do that apparently.
Yeah.
So it was an easy fix. And I'm not sad it happened because I've never done that before, and I got to do an easy little fix, and I did a really neat fix, and it's done no harm, so it was a wee bit of fun, if you know what I mean. But at the time, it was...
It wasn't fun at the time, but it is now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mixed up the power supply on the TF MSX and I put 12 volts on 5.
Oh,
That was fun.
I remember you doing that, and you're wondering what have I killed, and you come back. Was it only the RAM or something?
That was RAM, CPU, and ROM. That was lucky, actually.
Yeah. It could have been worse.
And ROM, they're all things that you can replace easily.
yeah.
I think I had to just unsolder the CPU. Everything else was like just...
Yeah, the VRAM is easy. It was the VRAM, it wasn't the...
Yeah.
The
VRAM.
So the SRAM is on the 3.3.
Yeah, it was like VRAM.
If it hit the VDP, yeah, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not really
that
expensive,
would be-
the-
I had one replacement, but it's not what was like different, like not 58 but 38. But yeah, I had all the parts. We just chasing what went.
No,
That
The
was fun.
MSX2 Plus VDPs are kind of really expensive now.
I
Yeah,
bought
if you
it
get-
for those like TF MSX, so I bought it maybe like for like 25 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And after this, it's like those like I think Omega or something like this, and TF MSX appeared, so they basically price skyrocketed.
Yeah, they're 80
So
quid or
I
something
got
like
one of
that.
these. Where are we? I got one of these. We're doing arcade test for fixing arcade boards, and I don't know where these have been all my life. I really wish I'd had some before.
So what that clips over an existing chip
Yeah.
Yeah.
and allows you
on it.
to take readings better off those pins at the end rather than trying to fiddle about getting legs in a chip.
Yeah,
Right.
you can check this. You can check this the chip. You can check whether a chip's behaving logically
Mhm.
in circuit.
You can even use DuPont cables in that then?
Well, I put on those.
Are they too thin?
No, those are 0.1 headers. But I'll show you exactly what I use. I'll show you on the camera if you can. Come on. Get out. You see this stuff. So this is
Yeah,
my
I've seen those in your house and thought that I will never use anything like that. That's beyond what I could ever aspire to.
But
Those
that's
fucking
those logic analyzer probes. So each one of those is like a 100 megahertz probe. So you
Yeah, the only annoying thing, because I have a couple of those clips, Stephen, the only annoying thing about those is the IC, the legs on the IC need
Yeah.
to be super clean, and
Yeah,
on the arcade board it's never.
no, but you
Never
can
is.
go over the legs with the
Yeah,
flux. You know? I didn't find that they needed to be super clean, but they did need to be clean.
yeah.
But what I was leading up to was they do one of these. Let's see if we can find it. They do this guy.
64.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 68K.
Nice.
That's a full 68,000.
So you can stick that on and you can read a whole lot of information about what's going on just from the lanes in the CPU.
Yeah, you can see whether you can, instead of having to solder stuff or desolder or put in you can clamp on and see what's going on with your 68K. See what's going on. I mean, my logic analyzer will follow a 68K, for 4096 instructions. But the other one is that one, and there was another one, not that one, but the other one of interest, this one, which is I think it's 0.6. This one, I think it's this one. Don't quote me on that, but you can put that on a Z80. So most arcade boards of the type that I'm interested in are either Z80 or 68K based.
Yeah. Why didn't they use 6502s?
Good question. I don't know.
Just nosy.
I don't know. Have you ever seen an arcade board with a 6502 in it? I think it was
I
Z80s
don't
were
think so, no.
Because
dominant.
everything's a mix of usually of Z80 or 6502, and then it goes to 68K, and then some of them go to X86. But
So 6502, I think, predominantly in use on the west coast of the USA and the BBC Micro. Beyond that, I don't think it was used. I mean,
it's in some medical devices and stuff like that, but that's not important.
correct me if feel free to correct me if I'm wrong here, or if you're watching this, if you're dumb enough to watch this for like 6 months from now. But the Japan market seemed to be 68K and Z80 based. All it seemed to be. It might have just become like you could get Z80 and 68K developers.
Z80 was cheap for arcade boards, and yeah.
But I mean, you never hear someone saying the 6502 shite or the Z80 is much better, because they clearly had their abilities. So it just seems a little bit unusual, unless it's just a case of this location tended to use that, and that's why it happened.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
You different manufacturers as well for the Z80.
but I've gone through 3 or 4 different arcade boards recently, and they almost all have exactly the same. Like the design I was showing you earlier for the counter and the sample and the MSM5, almost all have this exact same. They're all variations on it. They all map differently in RAM, but almost all there's always a Z80 for the sound, and even things like the Neo Geo. I think the Neo Geo. I had too many didn't to actually recall all of it. But all of the designs of a lot of these boards were Z80s for the sound, some kind of FM synth, and a sample player all mixed in. And you've got a 68K for doing your game orchestration and some kind of graphics sprite hardware. That seems to be the sort of general pattern for arcade boards.
Peter is right about Japanese manufacturer were making their own Z80, and
I've just googled it
as well.
and it says
it's just readily available in Japan.
Yeah.
Well, I will say goodnight because I have to drive tomorrow to Stockholm.
See, Chucky.
Say, Johnny.
Good night. Yeah,
Thanks,
bye.
Good night.
Yeah, bye.
Later.
So I just googled it. How interesting. It says the 6502 microprocessor was used in several arcade boards, including the Atari 6502 black and white raster, Atari 6502 color raster, and Atari 6502 vector. So Atari used it a little bit, and then they've obviously thought, fuck it, we'll go with the rest of the people and go on to Z80s and 68Ks.
Yeah. And Atari was very much West Coast of America, right? It
Indeed,
seems
yeah.
Like it seems to be. I mean, it's anecdotally saying this. It's the 6502 seems to be a West Coast of America. Except the exception to that is the BBC Micro.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list here. It says the Atari 2600, the Apple II, the Commodore PET, Commodore 64, BBC Micro, and Nintendo Entertainment System. I think some of them didn't use the 6502, they used a variant, but yeah.
And this is an interesting one because it was the 6502, but not. If you read up on it, it's
It's a 6502, aye.
It's yeah. Just changed enough.
Aye.
Whoa, we're still on.
Peter said the same.
Yeah, it's a very common way. I mean, I think the Chase 82's got either 2 or 3 68Ks on it.
I think if everybody's using these as well for it, and you're going to do an arcade board, you couldn't just step away from that. You'd be going right back to start again.
Yeah, it's a simple pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the exact way you described it, the 68K running the sort of show, the Z80 handling the sound, and then an FM synth. That you've just described a Mega Drive.
Yeah. Well, the Mega Drive was intended to work like an arcade machine.
Exactly.
It's a very an arcade machine, but yeah.
Yeah, Outrun was 268K and was it 80 for...
Yeah, but it's only the second best game.
First. That's twice you offended me today.
I can have you killed. So, what's been the impact of the storm? Are you, apart from you having the start up the logging business, has it been you all cleared up from it generally in the area, or is it?
Well, actually, in the area there wasn't that much damage done. It was just our house, really. We got really badly hit.
And you look
There's
like
a couple of trees here and there, but like our house really got hit for some reason.
Your house did? I thought your house was okay.
No, the house was okay, but we got 19 trees on the ground.
Got you,
Just
yeah.
down.
And was
we
the
missed
the
house
power and so
by,
on
like,
restored by the
inches.
time you get back your holidays?
Yeah, it was back. It was all back.
So just to empty the freezer and you were done?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we emptied it before we went. And that was it.
Yeah.
But no, we were okay. It was just a lot of work. But no, around there was just a few trees here and there. But that was it. It's just me hacking away at the moment.
Ooh.
Yeah. But neighbours were great. Like all the farmers came in and helped clear the roads around us anyway, and the most dangerous trees. And all.
It's funny when something like that happens, how you get the team spirit you didn't know you had.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we get on well with everybody around anyway, so I mean, we help them as well. But like that, like they were here without even asking, so that was great. And,
Yeah, that's really good.
You were fairly lucky. I mean, you were fairly lucky. If the trees had fallen in different directions, you would have had a.
yeah, just the way the trees were. Well, just the way the trade winds are. Like I knew which way they were going to fall if they fell. There was just a couple of trees that I wasn't sure, and so one of them literally went between like a foot of the house and a foot of the cars, like just right in between,
Right.
and just didn't touch any. Yeah, but the scary, the scary part was obviously the night, like around 4 and 3 a.m. like when it was blowing, because I could hear everything. But when light came, like in the morning, 7 a.m. or something like that, or 6:30, and you could start seeing all the trees that were down in the garden.
Yeah.
And the winds were still too strong to get outside, so I didn't know if there was any damage to the house. So it was only like till like 9 o'clock I was able to go and inspect the house. So you spend 2 hours like looking at fucking bomb site in the garden, going,
Yeah.
okay, the house.
So you said
as well, like.
You 19 trees came down.
Yeah.
I take it you've got a reasonably big garden there, or was that all your trees?
No, yeah, we've like there's like 40 trees on the property.
Right.
It's an old cottage on a sort of mature site. It's 1 acre, like it's just a lot of trees in a small.
Ollie's
area.
estate is much bigger than mine.
Yeah. Although per square foot your estate is more expensive location-wise than his.
Yeah.
By just a little bit.
And
It's fairly desirable.
How many turrets do you have in your house, Ollie?
I don't even have a second floor, so never mind. Turrets.
How many floors in yours, Stephen?
Is the
15.
basement count?
Yes.
Is the attic count?
Yes.
4?
All-
Yes. Yes.
Look, this. I mean, it's great for the parties that we have, but this place is not going to be. We're not going to be able to look after this as we get older. It's too big.
No, you'd end up doing. My dad was talking about getting a retirement flat for himself, and his alternative was just to shut the upstairs of the house and just to live downstairs. And I guess you could do that.
I've seen my grandparents did that. My mum's dad and his wife. The problem with that is you need to go and clean it every month.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up with epic dust mites. Epic dust mites.
My dad has a
That's
cleaner
more
comes
than
in
that
already,
mess
so she
and all
can run
that.
over with a hoover and
You just hoover and dust it once a month.
Yeah,
Or
that's
it gets
all she needs to
really
do.
Bad. It gets really bad.
That's all he need to do, and otherwise he needs to move, and moving's expensive and all the rest of it. So that's what he's thinking about. I thought it's a wee bit unusual, but Aye, he just ends up saying effectively, "This is now a bungalow."
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a 6-bedroom house. It's ridiculous.
Oh, he's going to have so much. Is he a hoarder?
He's been they're absolutely terrible. Him and my mum were. They're absolutely terrible. And there's so much stuff, and he's been going through it, but he doesn't realise things don't have any value. I mean, I bought a new coffee table the other day just for the bedroom, just beside the chair in the bedroom. It cost me 45 quid delivered. I built it today. It looks fantastic. It's really sturdy. It was easy to build. Great bit of furniture. It's disposable.
Yeah.
My dad's got furniture. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'll need to give it to the auction house. And I'm like, Dad, nobody wants it. It's just, these are things that when he grew up, a bit of furniture you'd pass down to someone and so on. And it's just, it's difficult for him to grasp that these things they're just junk now.
Yeah, throw away.
Aye. Nobody would want a second hand. You can go to Argos and get one for 30 quid, so why would you get a second hand?
I mean, I do that with antiques. I take the chainsaw to them. It's just like suddenly that's a dreadful accident. It's become firewood.
Yeah, I mean, you can see things on YouTube, people restoring these antiques, but they've got their pick. They can go and pick up any they want for 2 quid and then restore it. It's the time and effort they put in. It's not the value of the inherent item.
That's what Sandra does. She takes bits of furniture and she'll reupholster them.
Yeah, and she'll not find it difficult to find the furniture. It's her time and the materials that'll cost her money.
Yeah, she said she had some nightmare customer recently. I probably shouldn't say too much, but she had some nightmare customer. It started off out as customers being picky about X, Y, and Z, and there was something back and forth. And I said to her, I would maybe drop her as a customer. I wouldn't go. That's something that's going to end up being a good outcome.
You can see the writing on the wall for that one, yeah.
And then a little bit later, she's like, "You were totally spot on. It's gone completely mad. It's gone completely bad." She was. I think she must have. It was like this person had paid to have the furniture transported to Sandra, have the work, and then pay for the work, and then have it transported back. But she was expecting the service to be about a 300 quid service when it's a £1,000 service, and she wasn't prepared to pay that kind of money. So, yeah.
I mean, people's time costs a lot of money.
It does, and apparently because when you do furniture nowadays, there's some fire retardant, so you've got to put a fire retardant. You've got to upholster a fire retardant coat.
Okay.
And then something on top, that doubles the work. I hadn't realized this either, but as soon as it's explained to me, I was like, yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah. You just wouldn't expect this to be cheap. If you want cheap furniture, you get it mass produced in China and you build it yourself with an Allen key.
A professional upholsterer and not listen to what they're going to see, right? You know what I mean? Like, you go to a professional and you go, I would like this done, and they go, well, I don't think that would look good. And then they're like, no. I'm like, as soon as you start not like, as soon as you get someone who's like, they're not listening to your advice, when that comes back later on and they don't like it, there's going to be problems.
Yeah, it doesn't work just saying, well, I told you so.
Well, exactly, because see, that's the thing. If a customer's I can't remember exactly this, but it was like a small pattern, and it repeated 100. It like was massively repeating, and it was on a big piece of furniture. And somebody's like, I don't think that would work really well, because it's a small piece of furniture. It's a big piece of furniture with a small repeating pattern all over the place. And there was some concern about that, and I was like, they're not listening. I mean, if they went, I know, I get it, but that's what I want. That's fine. But they're like, no, that's what I want. It's like, like kind of like maybe not do the business, because you're not going to have a satisfied customer. You're probably going to be out of pocket, and I have a spidey sense for this these days.
It's not a medical sense you've got, Stephen. It's fairly obvious. Peter Mulholland saying the same thing. He's talking about the MFI furniture you used to buy when we were kids was expensive and shite, and nowadays it's brilliant. It comes in a box. The instructions are good. It's easy to build, and it's really sturdy. It's just, and it's cheap as well. I know what you mean. Spidey sense for when I'm doing if I'm doing a mortgage, I get a Spidey sense if someone's going to be an absolute clown.
You know quite quickly whether somebody's going to be quote unquote a customer.
Yes.
You probably learned a whole lot about this from watching Lewis Rossman. You know, it's just,
he likes a rant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but he's put up.
He's never wrong. I may not totally agree with what he's saying, but he's never wrong. He's never in the wrong, and he's never been. Aye.
Thing is, I don't think with Lewis, I think it's always been a case of he's just putting up his experiences rather than telling you he's right or wrong.
I wonder what happened with mind that guy Mend It Mark. Nice guy, English guy, does a channel repairing, mostly repairs old hi-fi stuff and sometimes expensive hi-fi stuff. And he did some kind of audiophile snake oil thing that was shite. And there was a takedown, and Lewis Rossman took his side and said, "I challenge you, and I'll put it up on my site." I never found out what happened with that. They found out if they went after him. The preamp, Peter, yeah. And it was snake oil inside it, wasn't he? Aye.
I don't know. I didn't see that one.
I heard about that, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch the videos. It kept coming up on my feed.
It was a good video, to be fair. I quite like Mend It Mark anyway. He knows what he's talking about. He's got a nice manner about him, and he's not trying to dramatise things.
I mean, probably haven't really watched Lewis since he moved from New York. I was one of the early watchers of his videos, probably the first 2000. And I'm actually a mod on his YouTube channel. Like he's not taking me off. I haven't done anything for years, but he does remember. I think it's because I've got quite a memorable name, like a memorable moniker. He remembers that I was one of the early ones, like when he was just starting out. So
yeah, Peter's saying it there. It was complete and utter snake oil and poorly built. It was preamps in parallel to reduce the noise floor, and he says it was complete and utter snake oil. It kind of wasn't, in that it did what it said it would do, but it did it in a really inefficient, messy, expensive, ridiculous way, over the top, and they charged an absolute fortune for it. And it could have been done much smaller, much cheaper, and better. But it had this guy's name on it that said he built it all by hand and charged £1 million for it. Yeah.
Several dozen grand, Jesus.
And they said it was not economical to fix, I think. And then the guy said, "Oh, I'll take it somewhere else." And I think they laughed at him, saying, "Nobody can fix this." And Men at March laughed, "I'm just going to fix this." And he fixed it and made a video. And then they put a copyright strike in his video.
Oh.
And that's when Lewis Rossman came in and said, "Here's his video in full. Why don't you try and copyright strike me?" You know the way that Lewis does.
Yeah, I do like Lewis. He's got a bit of an obstreperous streak to him that's a bit like myself in a sense.
I mean, a streak, I mean, you can't call it a streak if it's the same width as him. I wonder what happened with that. Just when you mentioned it, I thought, I haven't thought about that. That was maybe 2 months ago. And I wondered if there was any pushback in that, or if the company said, "We're fucked up here, let's just
The one I've really picked up on recently from Lewis was the Australian battery charger testing people. I can't remember, was it batteries?
Nothing about this.
Battery packs, or there was a big lawsuit about this company. This company had basically had battery packs that said they had like 1 million cycles in them, and they didn't. Right? It was bullshit. The battery packs were standard but they were charging a fortune because they were supposed to be like, instead of getting, I don't know, let's use an order of magnitude. I don't know what the actual number is, but let's say it's 1,000 cycles. Instead of 1,000 cycles, you were going to get 100,000 cycles. These guys. But it was bullshit. It was the degrade was just about standard. So, I can't remember. It was an Australian company. It was some kind of like outback, off-grid camping YouTube channel that did a video about it.
So you would think you'd be saying, I'm not going to buy Chinese stuff. I'll get this bespoke Australian stuff that's really good. And it turns out, no, it's not.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. The only other thing, controversy I've been following on the internet recently, with utter glee, is the Billy Mitchell thing. I love the Billy Mitchell thing.
I don't have that much interest for it. I watch. I understand what's going on, and he's a bell end and a showman and all the rest of it. But I don't the lawsuits and so on. Nah.
Well, no.
Did you follow the Super Sega thing? The Super Sega thing was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So this is a Spanish company that said we're going to make an FPGA device called the Super Sega, and it's going to be every Sega console
I can see a
ever done.
problem with that right away because you don't own the rights to Sega, so right there.
Don't worry about that. So
let's
That's a small problem.
It's a beautiful, like the saga is just
So they said we're going to do every Sega, and most of these already exist in an FPGA implementation, so those would be easy to do. Apart from the ones that don't, they couldn't implement FPGA. But what they did was they showed this board, and they said to show you that the board's working, we'll plug USB controllers in and we'll show you it working. And eagle-eyed viewers spotted that the USB connections on it went straight down the PCB and straight back out again to a different thing hidden behind it. The way the FPGA was laid out, it couldn't work. The RAM was too far away and all sorts of problems with it. So they then said, we're really ready with this. We're going to put pre-orders in, and to get yourself in the queue, you'll pay €3, and then later that will allow you to be one of the first people to buy this for 400 and odd.
A Kickstarter.
No, not even Kickstarter. Not on any platform. Just a
like
manual Kickstarter.
Yeah. Just pay a wee deposit, and then that puts you on the list for when we finish.
Oh, that's a big scam. Right?
So what happened was everybody paid this €3 thinking this is probably a scam. It's gonna, but for €3, where's the harm? Take a wee punt on it.
Yeah.
They then, like a week later,
we lost Ollie.
Yeah, he's gone.
Took.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good night, Ollie.
He's singing off.
I'm going to bed. They then took the 400 or whatever it was euros off everybody. So they took
he's outlasted half. Come on.
Aye. They took €200,000 from people for a board that was never going to happen. And the guy then came on in his Lambo to meet someone in a car park somewhere. And he's showing these boards, and he's this wild Spanish guy. He then comes in. You know Ian Lee off the telly.
Yes.
Ian Lee off the telly has a Friday night show. Ian Lee interviews the guy. During this interview, the guy's sitting there smoking a fag, cooking his dinner, potatoes and prawns. He makes and eats his dinner, has a fag, puts the fag out on the floor while he's talking to Ian about this thing. And then a few days later, he says, Sega have told us to stop this thing, so we're going to refund everybody. And then nobody gets their money back. That's the Super Sega thing. It's gone quiet for a bit.
Interesting.
Aye.
Yeah.
And then he said he's got a letter from Sega saying it's okay, and he read out the letter, which obviously he'd written himself. It's like the boy gets into school with a letter claiming that
I don't have to do PE.
Aye, but my dad say I don't have to do PE.
Signed, James's dad.
Aye. Super Sega's amazing. Ian Lee did it we'll cover for a bit, but it's gone quiet now. I assume people haven't got the refunds and they have to do a charge back in their card. But
and they're basically banking on people not bothering.
Yeah.
Well, for the €3, that's the idea. Everyone thought the €3 thing is a scam. a few hundred people will do this. They won't chase the bank for €3, and he'll get to pocket it. There was one that was done years and years ago, and it was some kind of scam in a magazine. You wrote in, and they refunded you for it, but the refund came from the big dildo sex company, and you wouldn't take that refund to the bank.
That was
I don't know if it's true or not.
That was from Snatch in the film.
Was it?
Is that a Lock, Stock or
Was it? But it didn't originate. It was talked about before then.
Yeah.
So they used the idea, but it's the same kind of idea. You get the money in, and then nobody gets a refund.
Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. That was the film.
Is it?
I mean,
But I heard of it before that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's they were looking for the Vinnie Jones one, the one with Vinnie Jones. Yeah.
Aye, so Super Sega. Let me Google that, see what's happened.
What's the latest, Dave?
Come on, this is what the Fishwives is supposed to be about. A bit of controversy. Let's. I'll tell you what, though, if I was doing a Kickstarter, which I would never do, because oh my god, I mean, the expectations of people, anyway, right? even not doing a Kickstarter is mental. But I was in a Kickstarter.
Yeah, Stephen, what's the phase about? You know,
What's that?
phase on my terrible.
I have
you
sent you.
So you
I've sent you a picture of the guy, Stephen. You'll laugh when you see the guy, what the guy actually looks like.
That should be shared, I think.
Well, that's me. Hold on.
This is the guy in charge of it.
It's definitely not Chappie.
But he's so he's so engaging and kind of charismatic. You want it to be true because he's so fun.
I'll tell you one thing though. See if I was engaged in some kind of, if I had been engaged in some kind of setup like this, and somebody wanted to talk to me, I wouldn't turn up in my Lambo. I'd turn up in my Fiesta, right? You want to be looking as poor as possible when
Yeah, I'm just doing this for the fans.
there's a reason
When-
about it.
When Ian Lee did the interview in his show, he does his show with his partner, and he did the interview, and then halfway through it, he says, "Oh, I forgot to say, my partner speaks fluent Spanish," and she just launches into interviewing in Spanish, and the guy's like that.
Oh, he doesn't speak fluent Spanish then.
No, he does. He speaks fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
But he was using the kind of the language barrier to kind of slightly misunderstand things and not answer the questions he was asked.
Ah,
I see.
oh my god. Hard enough getting anything done in the retro world without this kind of carry on. I don't know. I'm just.
You've got a posh modified car, haven't you?
Who, me?
Aye.
No.
You added cruise control to it.
Oh, yeah. But that's not posh. It's added cruise control to my face. You know, that's my most requested video. How did you add cruise control to your Fiesta? It's like probably 30,000 people that would watch that. It's like more people that care about that than my terrible car stuff. I'm not joking. Like it's not.
Terrible Fiesta.
And I literally went. I got the Speedo out.
Oh.
The Speedo didn't have two wires missing, right? And I was like, how am I going to put them in there? I didn't want to have to rewire this cable. I'm like, two wires in, jam the connector in, wrap that down, and then two wires into the clock spring. They're just pinned. They're basically the female side of a .1 headers. Yeah, stuff them in.
So the car always had cruise control, and the way they said if you pay for cruise control, we add 2 wires, and if you don't, we don't.
A switch, a button switch. I'm actually I had to take the entire steering wheel off, the airbag. I had to, and then put a new facade on the steering wheel with the 2 new buttons. So it's all new. It's like a. Well, let me find it. It's,
but no actual cost. If Fiesta paid no more or no less for your car, with or without cruise control.
It was all there. You just needed a few switches and then someone to turn it on in the ECU.
Because they're talking now about BMWs they're having heated seats, and if you pay for it, they activate it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but not permanently either. Like you pay your yearly subscription for your heated seats.
Yeah, I pay it's just shit. I pay a yearly subscription for the location services and being able to connect to the internet to turn my car on, and I get that because they're providing an actual service, and it's a bit steep, but it's just at that point it's like, okay, it's useful, but what the BM is so cynical. I hope they do it though, just so you take it into a garage and you buy the base spec and take it in a garage and say, right, turn it on, please. Bang, there you go.
I ended up buying this, but I ended up spending 20 quid on it. Right, I bought this. This is what the steering wheel looks like. This is what the steering wheel looks like. What it looked like before was it didn't have this bit here. So I bought that. Fitted it. The clock spring had the connections through it, but there was 2 wires that didn't go all the way back. I ended up buying a manual to figure out where the connections were. Put them on, and then I had to use, I think it's Forescan, the Ford laptops.
Foreskin?
Yeah, use your foreskin. Yeah,
and you enable it in the computer, and then that's it. It's working. I was driving around with that.
Is this not the 30 mile an hour thing as well? Because I remember talking to you, it's not working. It should all be working. Then you figured out that it was only above 30 miles an hour would it kick in.
It only kicks in about 40 miles an hour.
Right. So your local testing. Why isn't this working?
Yeah, why isn't this working? So I was like, and then eventually I was driving around the avenues of Pollock Shields way too fast just to test the cruise control. Yeah.
I think Peter's suggestion was better. You should have just put a brick on the accelerator. It worked in Speed 3.
That is literally the GIF I sent Ollie. Because the reason I did it is because I was going to France and we were going to go in the Fiesta. And I'm like, my foot cannot take going to France.
No.
In the Fiesta, because it goes to sleep by the time I get to Carlisle. And I was ending up using my left foot on the throttle for half an hour at a time.
Just to give your ankle a rest, yeah.
Mine's got a speed limit thing, so I can put my foot in the accelerator just all the way down kind of thing and rest it, rather than have that thing that makes your foot sore of having to balance it kind of thing.
Yeah, so that balancing thing, and I was like, once I got it going, and now I've got the Fiesta. So yeah, I've got a modded Fiesta.
A highly modified Fiesta, yeah.
But the different spec was no cost to them. Just a question of putting the blank on. I hate that. I don't like that.
My mother-in-law has an EcoSport, and it's more, I could do the same exact mod to her car. But I'm a bit more scared because there's
still your car.
It's not my car.
It seems to be a standard thing though. They just fit a loom that does everything, and then just plug in the bits that they need.
There was
what you paid for, yeah.
There was 2 wires missing, and I've posted on forums that I got this going, and they're like, "Do a video of that. I want to see how that works." Like, I'm not taking it apart again. It's working.
Yeah. It's just it's Ryanair pricing. It's just Ryanair. What they should do is if it's in the car, it should be enabled. But they won't do that because it will raise the ticket price, and what they're competing on the lowest ticket price they can, and then trying to say how much extra can we charge people.
Yeah,
I get why they do it, but it's annoying. When I bought my car,
I would have paid 100 quid or 200 quid to go to a dealer and have it.
When I bought my car, I had loads of money kicking about, so I got all the extras. The only thing I didn't get was the heads-up display. And the heads-up display and the kind of keep distance thing for the motorway, because it meant losing the growler at the front of the car for a plastic growler. And I didn't want that. I wanted the proper Jaguar growler in the front. So that's why I didn't get that. But I'll get every single other upgrade to the point where there was a page of upgrades on the receipt for the car. And it cost a fortune to get them all. I was fine at the time, I had loads of money. I got them all, but all these things should have been standard on the car. It's just such a shame that people don't get them because they're rip-off prices.
Yeah.
A heated front windscreen, heated steering wheel, heated seats, things like that. Just they should be there.
Well, mine's got a heated front windscreen, and that's one of the reasons I went for it. But Andrew's, he's really anti-heated front windscreens.
He doesn't like them, no. Apparently, you can see the wires and it distracts him when he's driving.
You can see the ones under certain light, and it doesn't distract me.
Kind of look past them. It's fine.
Yeah, you don't see it now. I guess maybe
if I'm looking at them, I notice them. I'm not. I don't.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but I know some people do.
I wonder if he had a car with that for a long time, if he'd not have a problem after a while, if you know what I mean. I wonder if it's just he's seen it once and that's bothered him, but he's not endured it to the point where 3 weeks after he's got it, he doesn't see him anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've had it. I go hit the button, and the window defrosts in a few minutes. And on the Land Rover, it's amazing. It's like, wow.
I've got a remote start in mine, but when I got the battery changed, I was able to use it again because the battery was so low that it wasn't staying on to listen for the remote start signals. So got the battery changed, went to turn it on, it said the car's not secure. Turns out there's a procedure you need to do after changing the battery to reset the window positions. And until I'd Googled that and found out what that was, I couldn't get the remote start working.
Holding it till it clicks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It might have been you that found it for me. I don't know.
Potentially, it's the same across all the GLR stuff.
Yeah, well, I didn't know, and the garage obviously didn't know either. And you wouldn't know to know for it. You wouldn't know.
No, it's not something you should have to deal with.
No. It wasn't a Jaguar garage anyway. I got that sorted, and now I can remote start the car, and I can turn it on, and the I call them the ears. I shouldn't call them the ears. The mirrors on the car and the windscreen front and back and the inside will be all toasty. It's nice to have that. It's worth it to have that.
Yeah.
Especially when the flat was 2 floors up, so I couldn't go downstairs in my boxers, turn the car on in the middle of a busy street, and leave the car unlocked in the middle of a busy street.
It's not there when you go back down at that point, is it?
It's different if you live in a house. You can nip out and do it in a house a bit easier. Not in a busy street in a flat.
To be honest, I would go out in my boxers probably.
In a busy street though, in the middle of Hamilton, right down the close and right back up, 2 flights.
Oh, the close, no problems. It's more the leaving the car switched on.
Yes, yeah. And I'm not far away from a school, so there's hundreds of school kids getting up and down and all the rest of it. So the remote start there was ideal. Keeps the car locked, turns it on.
But you can get done for idling, can't you?
Not if it's in your drive.
Mine was on the street, but
that may be that bit difficult. Yeah, on the street, I think it's a problem. But if it's on your own private land, do what you like.
If it's on the street and I'm not in the car, is that a problem?
That's sketchy.
Is it?
Yeah, there's something about the car running without someone being in control of it. It's dangerous, considered dangerous.
Even if it's a remote start, it's all locked down and all the rest of it properly.
Yes, I think so. I need to Google it. I'm pretty
I'd
sure.
make him take him to court for that and say, a bunch of arseholes. Aye. It's not dangerous at all. They wouldn't have this feature. In fact, it's safe.
Or, as they say, that's for the courts.
Yes. Aye.
Take
me to court, you pricks.
I mean, the Land Rover actually has a Webasto fuel heater under the bonnet. So I can't do it remotely with the control. Mine's is too old, but you can set a timer so I can see right at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, fire up the heater. So it doesn't start the engine, it just starts this little diesel heater and heats the coolant. So prioritises heating the engine to make your start better, and then once that gets to temperature, it starts putting it through the cabin. So yeah, again, same thing. By the time you go out to your car on a frosty morning, semi-toasty, and the engine starts nice and easy, which is great. Although, again, I've got the, I think I must have a battery that's just starting to get low, so not enough to put any warning lights on, but my stop-start stopped working, so I'm like, I see what this is.
Yeah. Once I move office, I reckon my stop-start, I'm 9.4 miles to the office, and 9.4 miles back every day I'm going in, so I reckon that'll keep the battery charged.
I mean, I drive far too many miles a week, but it's not enough. So I think the battery's just getting end of life. But then the 2016, and I think it's probably the original battery. So
yeah, well, mine was 2018, and the battery's dead.
Well, I've done
But
it
the battery, the warning was coming on all the time though, so
Right.
it must have gone right down. But I guess it's a consumable.
It is.
You have
It
to look
really
at
is
it that
a battery, especially if it's cold.
I would say 4 to 6 years for a battery. Something like that.
Yeah, that's me at 6, and going on 7 now. So 16, no 8, 16.
The amount of miles you drive.
Wow.
If your car was just like mine going about Hamilton and that's all, you'd probably find your battery was already needing replacement.
Yeah.
Because you keep yours really topped up all the time, then you'll be all right.
Yeah, I need to check it actually. It's one of this on my to-do list, but the way my house is, the parking for me isn't out front. It's the way my house is built. My parking's a walk, so I'm about 200 yards for the house to where my parking is. My allocated parking, so it's a bit of a pain. But unless the weather's great, you're not really inclined to muck about with your car.
Yeah. But the amount of times you're about and it's snowy or icy or something, and you see people with this porthole cut in the front of their windscreen, arseholes.
Just asking for a car crash at that point, really.
Aye. And you know it's going to be them that hit you.
I know.
Maple Tree Studios.
Hello.
Greetings. Yeah, Peter, that's about right. That's what I was told as well. Especially with the diesel and it's cold, because the glow plugs take a huge chunk out as well.
Mine's a petrol, so it's not so bad. It can be, for mine, it can be 20 minutes of driving to put a 5-second start in, because it would be exceptionally rare that I did 20 minutes of driving. Normally I'd be 5-10 minutes of driving at a time, and that's it. And then it starts, so mine must have been pretty good at it.
Your bonus these days as well is that was very true further back, but your alternators these days, the amount of amps they can put back into a battery is incredible. So yeah,
That's what happened to Fiona just there last week.
oh yeah,
The belt went on the alternator pulley went, and the belt just vanished.
Aye. So what's happened with the RAC? Have they replied yet?
I don't know. My mother-in-law's written a strongly worded letter.
Because I was angry on her behalf.
yes.
That's how bad it was.
Well, they left. For anyone watching, they left a 77-year-old woman on the side of the road for 7 hours.
That's
And
shocking.
they'd have left her there until for 10 hours. I mean, they left
It
her.
wasn't a warm day.
What's that?
It wasn't a warm day either. I was working
Oh,
on
no.
They ended up in the lay-by just south of Perth, going northbound. It was an electric fence right there by the E9.
Lovely.
So, the car died about 2 minutes after the pulley went.
That's surprisingly quick, actually, because I've got that Honda as well, the big saloon, and the pulley went on mine. But the way it is in the Honda, you've got a main pulley that runs a main belt, and then there's a harmonic damper made out of rubber. And there's a kind of sub pulley, and that was the one that ran the alternator and various other things. And the rubber harmonic damper failed, so the outer pulley was still spinning and doing the main bits.
Yeah.
But the other one just stopped spinning. It was just rotating on the rubber, which meant my alternator, various other things, like the aircon and all that.
There's been a squeal on it for a while, but
Right.
and the garage thought it was the air conditioning pump,
Right.
but it turns out it wasn't. It was just whatever it was this pulley. And it's sorted now.
Wow. It's mega. When that pulley went on the Legend, I was dunkelled, and I made it to Perth before I finally couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, it was.
Were you damaging the car the whole time?
Doesn't damage it, no, but your systems start going. So the first thing you get is the battery light. So obviously you've no longer got an alternator charging it, and then gradually systems just died one by one as the battery level dropped. By the time
Like a sci-fi film.
Yeah, totally. It was like your spaceship sort of dying slowly over time. I ended up parked near the McDonald's at Broxton Roundabout in Perth. And by the time I got there, I'd lost the power steering because that was electric.
Mm.
None of my dials were working. None of the lights were working. The
I'd have-
engine was misfiring. It was like, this just need to get this stopped.
I had a Volvo, and there was an electrics fault in it. There's an old Volvo S80, and there was an electrics fault that was sometimes, as you started to go round a roundabout, the entire electrics in the car would go out, including the power steering as you were turning.
Man.
And because it was an automatic, you needed to put it into park to restart it.
That's
So it was
brutal,
fun.
Dave. That's
That was
actually
fun.
brutal. You couldn't
when
restart it in neutral.
No, you had to go into park to restart it.
Oh,
So you're,
wow.
you're going, oh, trying to turn the thing and get safe, and then had restarted. The third time I did it, I sold the car
Yeah.
for scrap.
Oh,
It
right.
was old when I got it though.
Yeah.
I meant to say, I bought this Bluetooth battery monitor, and I connected it up, and it had these connected. I would need to undo stuff and connect it to there, and solder it on, and change the space connectors. So I just loosely connected it there to read the battery as I was charging it a few years ago, and then left it in the boot of the car. And I put the spare wheel back in the car after they changed the battery for me. They properly connected it up.
Oh,
Nice
set
enough.
up. Is that the Victron one?
Aye,
Nice.
not the Vectron one. I sent the Vectron back.
All right.
I sent it because it wasn't what I needed. The
No,
battery
no.
It was overkill as well, and I've got the battery charger I've got will do the job if I need it. But the wired into it was nice. There's no reason to do that other than just to be nice. They changed the spade connectors and resoldered new ones on and changed it over.
Yeah.
Deal.
Oh dear. Right, I think I'm gonna.
So am I. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's now Sunday, so that's probably not a bad shout.
I am knackered. Sleeping pattern's been shot, so I slept right last night. I better not knock it out again tonight.
Fair dues.
Good night, folks.
Been a
Good
pleasure
chat.
again.
Right.
Right.
Pleasure.
See you next time.
Bye.
Here you go.